quite live here. Just shit always wants to go wrong right before you come on. So I see a lot of you folks are filtering in on YouTube, and here we go. I'm just going to do this as simple as possible to get us going. Okay. All right. So apologize for that. Okay, so we are indeed live now. So I want to run a couple things by you. This is going to be the monologue I was hoping to never have to discuss, but it is what it is. You know, there's been accusations floating around since this whole Venezuelan drug, I don't know what do you want to call it. The goal is, according to the Trump administration, the goal is um, to stop folks from bringing in narcotics, dangerous narcotics into the country. Fair enough. Just stop them from bringing in what, fentanyl or some other harmful narcotic. And the whole suggestion is by doing this, we're saving thousands of American lives. Well, apparently there is the possibility that for their efforts, war crimes were committed. And I kind of hesitate to call it war crimes because are we really officially at war with anyone right now? Are we at war with Venezuela? We are obviously blowing up boats off the coast of Venezuela, and people are dying. We're using the military to do it, but they haven't declared war on us, and we have not declared war on them. Now, you can't even really refer to it as a war on drugs because we're only doing it to Venezuelans. I mean, you think that other area, you think that the drug supply to America was coming solely from Venezuela? I'm pretty certain that no one would say yes to that. I think we all realize we get our drugs from there are plenty of countries that are producing harmful narcotics, and Americans are consuming them. So we're only going after Venezuela. So it's not even officially a war on drugs because most likely most of the major drug providers that supply the underworld in this country, they're not being touched. Drugs come from China, Mexico, Colombia, Peru. They come from all of those countries down there. We're only going after one country. So you can't really officially call it a war on drugs either. But I do want to play something for you because we always say we come with receipts, but this one, this was covered on Fox, and I'll give you the Fox clip of it as well. But I want you to hear from former Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Now, he was a Republican congressman in Illinois. Now, he was part of the January 6th hearings committee with Liz Cheney and what is her name, Nancy Pelosi. So I get that my beloved MAGA is not going to give him the time of day. I understand that, but nevertheless, he is a former U.S. congressman. I want you to hear this is in regards to what's going on in Venezuela. I think this is worthy of discussing, which is why I'm on today.
Emergency video here, even though it's just the day after Thanksgiving. Listen, the news about this, what they're calling the double tap of the boat. So the first strike on the boat in Venezuela, I guess Pete Hegseth had given the order that there are to be no survivors, which in and of itself is not a legal order. But regardless, gave that order. And we could even argue about whether this whole boat campaign is legal or not. I think there's obviously huge issues with it, but let's even put that aside because something way more egregious happened. So the very first strike, the boat is...
I want you to hear this. Now, he said something more egregious happened. This is the very first... Now, I'm sure some of you folks have already heard this story, but it's certainly worthy of discussing because we want to tackle it from a possibility of maybe war crimes were committed. This is the very first boat that was struck down in Venezuela. Now, so far, there's been almost a couple dozen of these vessels. Well over 80 people have been killed. But this is the first strike, and it was ordered by Hegseth himself.
Very first strike, the boat is struck. And again, this is the very first boat in the whole campaign. It's struck, they're looking on it on infrared. or on daylight TV cameras. And once the smoke basically clears from it, they notice that there are two men holding on to the boat that survived the strike. Okay, holding on, surviving. Now, let me just tell you what happened. The commander made the decision, SEAL Team 6, to go and finish these two off and kill them. Okay? Let me just be very clear. That is illegal. So here's the rule in the water, not to mention the fact that at that moment, those two are not combatants because they've been in effect neutralized. This is the equivalent of shooting a prisoner, shooting somebody who's surrendering, or shooting a civilian, which obviously gets done, but the United States opposes and is a war crime. So there's that whole thing, which is they're unarmed combatants at that moment. They do not have, even if you want to argue that the people with a boat carrying drugs represents a clear and present danger, at that point, there is no boat. Very likely the drugs are gone because the boat was struck, and you have two people that are just simply trying to survive. The obligation then at that point for the United States is to actually rescue those two. We're obligated. It's also the law of the maritime law, which is.
Now, if this went down the way that you're hearing Adam Kinzinger stating, by the way, this is being covered all over the media now. We saw a boat in the water, believed that it was carrying harmful narcotics, destroyed the boat, and the two individuals, at least two of the individuals in the boat, were left clinging to debris. So at this point, as he rightfully points out, they're literally just surviving for their lives. The cargo is gone, the vessel is gone, and what they're saying is a second order was given to kill the folks that kill the stragglers, basically. Now, this used to happen in World War II a lot, where, they'd have naval battles, and when the ship or the sub was destroyed, the people remaining floating in the water, the Japanese or the Germans would come along and strafe the survivors. This is a war crime, plain and simple. There's no other way to describe it. There's no threat being posed by an unarmed individual out in open sea at all. So how Pete Hegseth could order this is certainly something worthy of, questioning. And by the way, you hear Kinzinger, I know a lot of my beloved MAGA have no love for Kinzinger because of his January 6 hearings committee participation. But here's a little bit more of the actual story that was covered on Fox News.
To the Caribbean, though. You've likely seen these types of images by now. The Washington Post has an exclusive. They say that Secretary Pete Hegseth gave an order to, quote, kill everybody in the first strike on suspected drug boats in the Caribbean back in September. The Post says after two men survived, the mission commander ordered a second strike to comply with Hegseth's instructions. Standing by is Alex Horton. He's a Washington Post military reporter.
And I'm not going to go into the Post. I'm not going to necessarily play the Washington Post commentator that gives you his opinion. But fact is, the claim is that Pete Hegseth himself used the phrase, kill everybody. Now, that's not stopping a threat. That's not stopping drugs from entering America. That's not stopping a vessel from coming to America's shores. That is killing someone that is floating at open sea with no weapons, no cargo at that point, anything, just killing them, I don't know, outright. How is that not some sort of a war crime? I do want to talk to you folks because I don't see how Hegseth is not, from this point on, in dire need of a presidential pardon, which he ultimately will get. I don't think anybody out here feels that Hegseth is not likely to receive a pardon from President Trump. My guess is Trump has already told him that ahead of time, but this will definitely make it so that Pete Hegseth never needs to criticize Trump ever again. Because if for some reason him and Trump fall out, he's going to fall into this shit. But this is something that absolutely you will be hearing about in the coming weeks, because it does appear as if a war crime was committed. And this should make a warrant for Hegseth and who God knows who else in our military be placed, let's say Interpol or, from a United Nations standpoint. This should go beyond, because they're in open water, they're in international territory killing people. So this should be something where people are seeking justice beyond America's borders. So I want to talk to you folks and ask and hear your stance on this. Do you believe the Trump administration is indeed committing war crimes? Yikes. Now, there is a second story, and this one may fall under the category of Trump was right. I don't know yet. This is still very early on, but you heard about what happened in D.C. earlier this week. Someone traveled to D.C. all the way from the state of Washington, an Afghan national, ended up wounding 2 National Guardsmen. One has already passed. The National Guardswoman is already deceased, and the other individual is in critical condition. I've been hearing rumors that both of them have passed. Somebody let me know. I haven't seen any confirmations, but I am hearing rumors that both of these individuals, the male that was also wounded, I'm hearing that he has passed as well. I have not heard that from any news source confirmed yet. But I do want to, I want you to hear this, because we're talking about President Trump has already placed a complete ban on anyone from Afghanistan coming to America. And it sounds like he intends to deport all of the ones that are already here that came in under the Biden administration once we left Afghanistan. So this is interesting, because this may show that maybe Trump is on to something.
With our top stories that we're following here, we want to bring you a bit of breaking news. I'm putting this up on your screen. It's from Brooke Taylor with Fox News, saying exclusive. An Afghan national was arrested on Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok, indicating that he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area there in Texas. This is all according to the Department of Homeland Security. I want to put up some video that we have there of that suspect in full there on your screen. But we do know that court records are showing that the man is now being charged with making a terroristic threat at the state level. He came into the U.S. as a part of the Biden administration's Operation Allies Welcome, just like the D.C. shooting suspect. On September 7th of 2022, he was admitted as a lawful permanent resident. ICE has currently lodged a detainer on him. Once again, that is the...
So this is the second one. This is the second one now. Another Afghan national that apparently was trying to commit a terroristic act within our border. So is Trump right to get these Afghan nationals out of the country? Now, he's punishing all of them. He's not picking and choosing. He's not, going to do it on a one-by-one basis. He's basically suggesting that they all need to go. Do you agree with the commander-in-chief? And a full-time ban on anyone else coming in here from that country. So these are we're going to just have these as the topics today, but I don't know. I mean, this is the second one within a week. Is there some type of concerted plot? What is causing these folks? I mean, because listen, at the end of the day, you're going to have a hell of a lot of people blaming Biden because they came in under Biden's watch. But listen, they've been here for a few years. Why are they acting up now? Why did they act up under the Biden administration? Why would they all of a sudden start acting crazy right now in the middle of, or better at the end of 2025? So there has to be something else there. Otherwise, if they were radicalized, would they not have done this stuff last year, this time, during the conclusion of Biden's administration? So we're going to talk about that, but the certain question of whether war crimes are being committed in the Caribbean is also important. So looking in the comments, and by the way, folks, you know how the program is ran. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. We are MAGA friendly. We've always been MAGA friendly. We always will remain MAGA friendly. Our conversation goes left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. So everyone gets to speak without any censorship. You can be critical of anyone on this program, including yours truly. So looking in the comments briefly, the economic support was cut off. What do you mean by that? Oh, you're saying there? Wow. Is that what you're saying? So you're saying that when they came in as refugees, the country was giving them some sort of stipend to live off of. One of my viewers on Instagram is saying that their economic support was cut off, which would make them fairly impoverished in the new country. Is that what you're saying? And that led to this? Wow, they really don't like going broke, do they? I tell you one thing, growing up on the south side of Chicago, my broke ass had a lot of days where they were dark. I didn't think I was going to go out and take somebody out because I was poor. That's a hell of a response. Anyway, looking in the comments, I wouldn't doubt they had a deal to behave for 5 years. Who the hell would make a deal with them like that? Who would make a deal that you behave for 5 years? Tell me, make that make sense. Deport neck beards. So you said they grow hair down on their neck and that alone. Oh my Lord. Anyway, let me go straight to the box. Potential for war crimes. Denkel, good afternoon. Welcome to the program, Denkel. So first of all, I guess I would ask, do you believe that Hegseth would even do something like that?
I believe he would. I believe he did, but it's the finding the proof. And nowadays nobody believes anything
True.
that anybody says.
Well,
if they had him on a recording, they would say it's fake. It's just like we can't ever get to a resolution of anything because if the court said we don't believe the courts, it's everything is fixed now.
When you say if they had the proof, I got one to try on you. Remember that admiral that resigned real early on when this stuff started happening? Maybe
Yes.
this might be the reason why he resigned.
And it's also the reason why other countries, our former allies, have stopped supplying us intelligence in that region of the world. Because they don't want to be complicit.
Yeah.
They're following international law and the Geneva Convention, which we are not.
Yeah, I mean, that very well could be the case. And when you said if we had the proof, I was going to say, my guess is the proof is out there. I mean, I don't know where the Washington Post got this to make those accusations, because if what they're saying is wrong, Trump normally takes litigation up against people that lie about his administration. You notice he hasn't threatened them on social media at all.
Well, I mean, it's early. It's early.
But that's a hell of an allegation, though.
It is, but I think Trump will wait and see how far it goes with Hegseth, because Hegseth came out and said, "Oh, that's fake news. I never said that." Blah 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 blah. Now, if something comes out where somebody's going to come forward, then I think that's when Trump will step in and do his thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I mean, but man. I'm just imagining that they take out the boat, and these people are just out in open sea at that point in survival mode, and just to order the military to go ahead and kill. Now, remember the whole video a couple of weeks ago about not following unlawful orders? What about the individual that pushed the button and either strafed them or blew up their remains? I mean, would that not be an unlawful order? You see two individuals in the water, they are no harm to anyone in open sea, and you get the order from the top to kill them. Is that not following an unlawful order?
That person, along with their commanding officer, whoever gave that order, they're gonna need some legal representation. Wow.
What about the person who took the order? Yeah, you say so. I get the person that gave the order to kill somebody, a defenseless person out in open sea, but you're saying also maybe the chopper pilot or whoever, whatever aircraft they were in, you're saying that person also would probably be legal.
Not the operator, the actual gunner or whoever was the one who pulled the trigger. Because we keep going back to it, and it was the reason why those 6 lawmakers got up there and said, you have an obligation not to follow illegal orders. And if you knew your oath and you understood the rules of engagement, which should have been reiterated to you before you went back out there, the Geneva Convention says once you have tried to destroy them, and the survivors they're no longer enemy combatants. They are, what do they call it? They're basically captured. You captured them.
You know
the
what?
same way. It might have already happened before. Remember the two guys that they ended up sending back to their country?
Yep.
I wouldn't doubt if somebody said, I'm not going back and doing it. You know, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on.
you're right. We talked about that before, where they blew up one of those Venezuelan boats, and 2 individuals survived that case as well. And as opposed to bringing them in and bringing them up on charges, they actually just released them back to their country. So what you're saying is they might have been ordered to kill them as well. And the triggerman in that case said, hell no, I'm not doing it. That's illegal.
Right. And just like Blue just said, they become a POW once once they've been attacked and the threat is eliminated. Then you don't get to just go back. Like, we know that those are war crimes. And I don't believe anybody, not the commanding officer, anybody would have told them, let's go back around for another swipe, unless somebody at the very top told them, no survivors, no matter what.
This is crazy. So I don't know. What are we doing, though? Because you mentioned POW. I mean, obviously, we're not at war. War has not been declared. Congress is not even involved in this. What type of operation is this?
A secret military operation, like Russia's. Remember Russia when they first invaded Ukraine?
Yeah, with the Wagner group.
right.
Yeah, but it would be more effective because at least Putin was not tweeting out what the Wagner group was doing. I mean, Trump is actually telling them we're responsible for all this shit.
Right. Yeah. And look, how convenient is it? They said that second guy you said who was planning the attack, they said he tweeted it, or what did they say he did? He wrote
something. I was thinking about that when I was playing it just a moment ago. I'm like, this came from Homeland Security. They may just be conveniently coming up with some shit. Yeah, I thought about that. I actually thought about that.
Man, what? You talking about you comparing a guy who literally mouth shut, traveled about 3,000 miles across the United States to do a crazy act compared to somebody who was writing it on the internet. And now both of them are being grouped. And now we're like, oh my God, is it all of a sudden? No, it's not.
But, and let me just hear again what he tweeted, because I want to ask you something in regards to what one of my viewers just stated.
Green, it's from Brooke Taylor with Fox News, saying exclusive. An Afghan national was arrested on Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok, indicating that he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area there in Texas. This is all according to the Department of Homeland Security.
Your laughter kind of reminds me of when Tyler Robinson, the one that allegedly took out Charlie Kirk, they were reading the text messages, and the text messages didn't really fit somebody of Tyler Kirk's age of how they would text. You're saying that this don't make sense. That's what I'm getting, right?
This sophisticated former CIA accomplice was on TikTok. Well, I wonder if he was dancing while he was doing it.
Is there a TikTok bomb dance trend going around?
The shoe bomber.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
I took this shit in face value until I started talking to your ass. I was like, maybe they owning something, but now talking to you.
No, I don't think, like the one person just wrote up, just talking about, they agreed to hold off for 5 years. They agreed to hold off for 5 years before they timed it.
but let me just ask, in all seriousness, do you think that if with them saying this, does this give some sort of justification for Trump now banning all Afghans from coming here and possibly deporting all the ones that are here?
No, they're ignoring like human nature. How many did they say other people came? About 100,000, 80,000 or something?
I don't even know what the total number was.
Just imagine if you sent 80,000 Americans to any other country. How many of them are going to commit crimes? How many of them are going to commit murder? How many of them are going to be sexual assaulters? Like saying just saying everybody in the ethnic, like that's really racism at its core. They're just using a religious context. But you know how many Muslim people are in this country who've been here for decades and generations, and now you're gonna say everybody is a suspect.
So you're saying it's racist to go after the entire group of these people for the actions of just a few, or in this case, only a handful.
Yeah, not even a handful.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It's one person that has committed an act, and if this is true, it's another person that was thinking about it. So we're talking possibly two people. So it's a handful missing a bunch of fingers.
Now, yeah, if we had sleeper cells in all major cities go off at the same time, yeah, we need to start taking a look. But remember what we did the first time when they attacked the towers. How many? It was like 14 out of 19 was from Saudi Arabia.
Right.
We went into Iraq and Afghanistan. You know what I'm saying?
But I got somebody, and of course we know, as being able to Monday morning quarterback, we know the way we handled the aftermath of 9/11 was horrible. But someone is holding you accountable now. And I'm going to need my spectacles to even read the damn name on this. Mercenary. Okay, I can read that. He says, so this guy says, don't judge race based on the guy, which is what you're talking about in regards to this Afghan. He says, but he judges all Trump supporters for supporting Trump. So he's saying that you're being a hypocrite, didn't Cal?
I'm not saying remove you all from the country and that you guys are criminals and that we need to reevaluate. Remember what I said yesterday when they had the crazy story about the two white guys? Same thing applies.
Yeah, the two white guys that wanted to sail to a Haitian island and kill all the men and enslave the women and children.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic, but I was using the same analogy. Should we now look at all white people in this country and say, do they deserve to be here? Should we start looking at their nationalities? Are they Italian? Are they Russian? Maybe they're Ukrainian.
Are you suggesting you may be coming down with an acute case of Caucasian fatigue? Caucasian fatigue? Is that what I'm hearing? Am I diagnosing you properly?
I'm using the same analogy that they're using to say that there's something wrong with me. I'm saying that because one guy went across the country and did something crazy does not mean everybody in his religious group or anybody in his race is all of a sudden a suspect. Now he's going to look through every single person. He's talking about visas, temporary protected status, anybody that's not. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even expect it to go that far. I think it'll
be about denaturalizing folks. If that ain't something that we all should be able to get behind and say, no, we should not do that, because where does it stop when you start talking about you going to take away people's citizenship in this country?
Well, I do believe because they are taking green cards away from people who have the most minute criminal offenses in their past, regardless of how far back it is. I do believe if we have Trump in office for another 3 years, which he is scheduled to be there, you're going to see people losing green cards and being denaturalized. And I'll tell you one thing, my beloved MAGA will cheer every bit of that on. I don't think that MAGA will have a problem with that at all.
Except for the ones that get that knock at the door. MAGA reacts and Jeremy.
Oh, shit. Yeah, there may be some MAGA themselves that get caught up. I mean, listen, everything he's done, there are genuine MAGA that's been caught up in it as well. Farmers lost their farms. I mean, there's some of his policies that are hurting MAGA individuals as well. But the man says he's trying to make the country safe, Denkel.
Listen, when you live in a free country, we ignore the people's safety when it's talking about 2A rights, right? We say the kids just gotta, they just gotta, deal with it. Yeah. Because we're not gonna do anything when it comes to that. But one man that comes and says, we're gonna get rid of a whole religion because those people are not compatible with America. When you say compatible, you got to be real careful.
What is the definition of being compatible with American? Before you answer that, SD, welcome to the Patriot Level. Thank you as a supporter on YouTube. That did not go unnoticed. I appreciate that. It'll light up your comments. We'll certainly respond to you in kind. Thank you for your support. So, what is being compatible with America?
I don't know for sure, but I know what MAGA would be. Basically, it would be a cis white gender, male.
You can't be compatible as a black or brown person?
No, we already on the chopping block.
Are you suggesting someone like myself, who is a descendant of slaves on both sides of my family, you telling me I could end up getting deported?
Hey, they do not view you as a citizen. They view you as being forced here from another place, and that you don't have any connection or ownership with this country.
Well, I am a DEI citizen. I didn't earn it. I was brought here. Because I actually got my citizenship because of my color, because of my race.
Listen,
they only brought me here because of my race. I'm DEI.
Please don't do that, because AI might pick that up, and when you go into court, they might play this soundbite and say, you said it yourself.
Oh my God.
You're a DEI.
You know, the crazy thing is, even if you put a weapon to my head, a firearm to my, I couldn't tell you where I'm from. I don't even know where you going to deport me to? You never even told me where I came from, by the way. Where you taking me to?
They've already fixed that. They've got multiple places in Africa and around the world who have decided for a small piece of change, they will take you. So don't worry about where they're going to send you, because they sending people we know where they from to places they never been at. So
how do we get out of this? I mean, we joking about this, like a couple old chums and all this shit, but how do we get out of this? This is historical precedent. People will be talking about the fact that we did this in 2025 for years. How do we get out of this? Because this is painting us in a really bad light. Sending folks to countries, they don't even know the language. Some of these people don't. Like they wanted to send Kilmar Abrego Garcia to an African nation. He don't even know the language there. How do we get out of this, that we've done something like this?
Man, I hate to say that. I don't really think it's people are saying stuff like, well, if we impeach him, if we win in the midterms, like, I don't think that he's going to go along with any of that stuff, even if they tried it.
So
Trump, it would take first of all, for the impeachment, it would take 2/3, and we know we're not going to get that. For the 25th Amendment is going to take the vice president to be cooperative. That's
good luck on that.
Yeah, I mean, I really think, and I hate to say it, I think it's going to be a really bad civil disturbance that's going to make this country say, wait a minute, I like the stuff in my life right now. Like I don't. I think
MAGA. I think as opposed to doing the shit you're talking about, MAGA would rather deal with actually get involved in a civil disturbance to protect the longevity of President Trump. I want to give you this, and I'll let you respond to that as well. But I want to give you this question before I let you go, because this is a viewer asking that. CSS 5326 says, "Why does the left always feel privileged enough to dictate what others think and feel and intend to do, specifically their opposition?" So he's saying, why do you feel privileged enough to do something like that?
To do something like what?
Dictate what others think and feel and intend to do. So you're predicting how the other side would react and what they're going to do. And he's saying, why does people on the left always feel privileged to do that? As if, I guess, it doesn't happen on the right.
I'm not predicting anything. I'm using what has been said multiple times in multiple different settings about the feeling of MAGA. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that if the president says, let's get rid of all Muslims, MAGA would be okay with it. So that's not a leap. That's
There's gotta be some. Wait a minute though. But if you say if Trump says let's get rid of all Muslims, and you say MAGA would be okay with that, you do realize there are MAGA Muslims out there. Trump won Dearborn County in your state, by the way, did he not?
Yeah, but go over there and ask them now. Go ask them right now who they will vote for. Yes, I mean, he tricked a lot of people. I mean, I get it, but ask them now. Go ask the vast majority of Hispanics around the country who voted for him because they thought it was just going to be the criminals. Yeah. Now they grandmama getting picked up, on their way to go clean somebody's house.
Wow. Well,
So it's not going out on a limb saying this stuff. It's not about figuring nobody out. It's about listening to what they say and understanding how far they would go. The man say he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue. I've had people tell me to my face that that he could be an axe murderer and that they would still vote for him. So I'm not going out on a limb when I say, hey, when he say something, they gonna do it. When he say they drug dealers, they don't give a damn if they is or not. It's okay to murder them because he's demonized people. He's shrunk people so far that and people get mad when you bring up the example of the 1930s in Germany, but that's what he's done. He's made people look at others as like less than human beings. So it's easy. If you say you got a mouse in your house, it's easy to just step on it, to kill it and get rid of it.
That's a vermin.
So if you call people vermin and you say they poison in the blood, it's easy to say, oh, that was just a bunch of drug dealers. When the people that know, like myself, who have been out there doing those interdiction operations, the vast majority of them people on those boats are not cartel members. They are fishermen who have been snatched up and told, you will deliver this product or we will take out your whole family.
And last but not least, before I move it on from you, how do you respond to people who suggest when you look at the fact that they blew up a submersible, kind of like a pseudo submarine, or you look at the multiple outboards on these boats, or the fact that there are no fishing rods on the images? There is no way these could be fishermen boats. How do you respond to people who say that they're too far out in open water to be fishing? They have to be doing something else. You think they're all just making that up?
No, I don't think they're making it up. My problem is it doesn't freaking matter what they're doing out there. It's not punishable by death. It doesn't matter if we got rules in this country. We've got laws on the book that say if you're a dealer, we take you into custody, we put you on trial, we give you due process, and we lock you up if you're guilty. We don't get to say everybody around the world, because if we're going to be consistent, then I guess next we're going to be off the coast of China, and all of the fentanyl that comes from there, which is about 60 to 70% of that comes into this country, we're going to be off of their coast doing it too. We're not doing it for the right reasons, and that's my problem.
Bro,
I don't got no problem with catching drug dealers and trying to keep it off the streets, but don't piss on me and tell me it's raining.
Well said. Didn't count. Appreciate you coming in, man. Thank you.
All right. Yep.
All right. Move. By the way, folks, tap the screen. We are indeed talking about the possibility that the Trump administration may have committed a war crime. Now, we've played the clip, whereas the suggestion is the very first strike of one of those boats in the Caribbean that Trump is saying is carrying narcotics out of Venezuela en route to America. The very first one was struck by the U.S. military, and two of the inhabitants, the two individuals on it, survived the initial strike. They're floating in open water, no longer in possession of cargo, their boat, or any weapons or anything. And that Pete Hegseth ordered, using the phrase "kill them all," ordered the individuals floating at sea to be executed. And that was indeed done. Now, obviously, just like if you're running, let's say you take a couple pot shots at a cop, you take a couple pew-pews at a cop, jump in your car and you're trying to run or whatever the case may be. Now, you may get into a gun battle back and forth. Perhaps they use the pit maneuver and cause your car to flip or whatever. But once you are no longer a threat, they are not supposed to continue shooting at you. That's kind of in this case. Okay, you're running drugs. We've stopped. By the way, I don't even know if you could I don't know if we even have the right to kill drug runners on the spot anyway, but that's kind of what we're doing. But once you've taken their vessel and their cargo to continue to kill them anyway, it's kind of like the old World War II footage you may see or you may have heard about. The Japanese taking out a naval vessel or the Germans doing it, and the remaining sailors that are floating at sea holding on to rubble getting strafed. That's very similar to this. I believe that is indeed a war crime and it goes against international law, but we will be hearing about this in the coming days. And I want to hear from you folks in the comments, though. I'm being told I'm wrong by Anthony Graham, but you're not telling me what I'm wrong about. Tell me, are you saying it's not a war crime, or are you saying it didn't happen? Let me know. So they would have had to fill up 20 times to make it to the United States. Yeah, that is a question of whether or not the vessels could even make it to this country geographically as well. That has always been a question, but we'll continue on. I need you guys to tap the screen. We'll bring up Sherbert. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 30,000. You can do that if you let your thumbs not be lazy. If you enjoy this type of dialogue from all sides of the aisle without any censorship, I encourage you to follow the program if you're watching currently on X, Instagram, or TikTok. And if you're watching us live on YouTube, give your boy a sub. We're here most weekdays. Sherbert, good afternoon. War crimes, what say you?
Yes,
You think Trump would do this? You think Hegseth would do this?
100%. They've shown themselves to be ruthless monsters.
How? What have they done to make you suggest they're worthless monsters?
I didn't say worthless, ruthless.
Ruthless. I mean, okay, so what have they done to indicate they're ruthless?
Well, this one's a pretty good example with Kill Them All.
Well, it's in the allegation stage right now. This may not be true.
No, it's pretty clear after the 15th boat. And then when they took down the submarine and they let those guys go versus prosecuting them, it doesn't matter.
But I do
They're
have to
just
ask,
going after people.
But I do have to ask, like what I was discussing with my last caller, how can we suggest that this is anything other than drug runners when they have a submarine? Fishermen do not fish underwater. While being underwater, they don't.
The reason we can say that is because they didn't arrest them and try them. If they had any evidence with the submarine, they would have, but they didn't. So it was probably just some guy with a lot of money had a toy, and they went, "Oh, drugs," blew it up, and then went, "Oh shit, okay, go home."
So what are you suggesting? This is just indiscriminate killing?
100%.
For what purpose? Why would they just be killing innocent Venezuelans?
I'm pretty sure this is going to be a false flag to start a conflict to keep Trump in power.
Wow. So basically starting a war for an agenda. So, okay, you believe they're starting this with Venezuela. And I guess I'm questioning, how would this end up keeping Trump in power? Because it's not affecting the mainland U.S.
Well, the reason it won't work is because our Constitution is not set up like Ukraine's. But Trump is too dumb to even know what's in the Constitution. And Hegseth doesn't care. He just wants to be off leash to do whatever he wants. And so he gets to play out his power fantasies. And they're having fun.
You say he's too dumb. Are you suggesting that the world's most powerful man that has had decades of being successful at business, won the White House twice, that guy is dumb?
100%. Have you listened to him speak for more than 5 minutes?
I've watched
in
him
the last year.
I've watched him climb the ladder of eliteness to the very top. How can you do that and be dumb at the same time?
Because every time I listen to him, I want to throw myself off a building with how stupid he sounds.
Well, the way he's going, the building may be his. You may throw yourself off of a Trump building because he's buying everything. How is he? I don't see how he's dumb. You may not like what he's doing, but he is incredibly successful.
People can stumble upwards.
Really?
That man is not an intelligent man, because I haven't heard anything in probably the last 3 years that make any more sense other than "I'm awesome," right?
I mean, listen, and I see the comments. Somebody's telling me you sound dumb too. He's talking about me because I'm saying that I don't see Trump as dumb. I think the guy has been able to finagle his surroundings to always get what he wants. I can't see that as being dumb. Like I said, you can say maybe he's conned people or told people lies or exaggerated, whatever the case may be, but he don't seem dumb, Sherbert.
Well, I think he is 100% dumb. I don't think he could play on the game show, "Are you smarter than a fifth grader?" He's probably not smarter than a kindergartner.
No.
And especially you listen to these cognitive tests that are not cognitive tests, dementia tests.
Did he
and
not?
He thinks he aced them. Woo, look at me, I'm so smart. Person, TV, lion, whatever.
As a young adult, did he not graduate from the Wharton School of Finance? I mean, how can somebody dumb do that?
Well, no, Tim. he fought incredibly hard to keep his what do you call that when it's from the school? All of his records from the college.
Yeah.
He fought incredibly hard to keep those.
You mean his transcripts?
Because he didn't do very well.
You mean his
transcripts?
Yeah.
He fought so hard to keep those closed, and threatened to sue every single person that said they would show his transcripts. So no, I don't think he did very well. I'm pretty sure his dad bought a wing at the college, and then they passed him and gave him a degree for it.
I mean, anything is possible, but he has figured out the American system and they've thrived in it. I don't see how that's dumb.
That doesn't make him a smart person. That just means he's a good con man and part of the mob.
He has done what would qualify any American to receive the title of successful. Anybody living in his situation would be called a successful individual.
Successful and smart are two different things, Tim. Stop conflating them together. This is why they say you be fluffing.
This ain't fluffing. I don't see the guy as
100% fluffing, Tim. Don't even fucking play with me on that one.
I think the guy is a great salesman. I think the guy knows how to sell himself politically. He's had television shows. I mean, he's done it at business. I don't see anything dumb about him in terms of what he wanted to accomplish. He's an overachiever, if you ask me.
Let's see about the steak, the vodka, the airline company, the Thai company. There's all the casinos.
Yeah,
there are several things that he has accomplished and then utterly failed at. So no.
But let's be clear. We are assuming with the casinos and the state and the college, the Trump University and all this stuff, we're assuming that he really wanted this stuff to be a longevity-based program or business, and it failed. For all we know, he may have gutted that casino and took a fortune with him and intended for that to go down like that. We don't know, because it is hard to bankrupt the casino. Huh?
He didn't pay his contractors, so that would make some sense.
Yeah, I'm not saying the guy. I'm not putting the guy in high moral standing. I mean, I don't favor the guy's morals one bit, but I don't think he's dumb as you're suggesting.
I would say he was much smarter in 2016. And when he was going up against Hillary, like, he at least made cogent sentences. But ever since he lost, nothing has been more than "I'm awesome, look at me, yay, 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 go America."
Two things. One, obviously, being he's gotten older, but two is he don't have to watch his words anymore. When he ran the first time, he had the notion of running for re-election on, up ahead of him. Now he doesn't have to worry about that. So he don't have to mince words. He can do whatever he wants to do, because a lot of the things you're talking about, like the cruelty is the point type shit, he probably would not have done all of that in his first term because he wanted to get reelected. Now he doesn't have to worry about that. And I see in the comments before we continue on, Handsome Sticky Figure says 100% Trumpy Dumpty is a full scheduled moron. I don't think the guy's a moron.
Tim,
go ahead.
Whenever he gets asked a clarifying question, lately he comes back with piggy and fake news. A smart person doesn't say everything is fake news and everything is a witch hunt. They come up with a good excuse of why something happened or why it looks a certain way. He just says witch hunt, and MAGA Reacts goes, "Yeah, that was a witch hunt," even though there's proof of him doing shit.
Well,
no, I don't think he's a smart person. You will never convince me of that at this point.
Well,
He might have been smart back when he was in his 40s, maybe, but he has definitely got dementia now, and he is a dumb person.
I think he's an elitist. I think he's looking at people that are asking him to clarify or justify his actions as, "Who the hell are you, you puny peasant?" That's which is kind of why you get the fuck off and you're piggy and you're dumb. I just think he's looking like, who the hell are you to question me? I'm the president. Kind of like Neil to Zod. I think it's more of that type of mentality.
I disagree, and that has to be okay.
Do you know anybody in the Republican Party that has been allowed to question him, or are they all kneeling to Zod?
There's a couple. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene quit because she was questioning him.
I'm hearing she's a rhino these days.
Everyone's a goddamn rhino.
I don't think you're allowed to question him, sure, but I think anybody on the right could question his actions.
And that's a problem.
Well,
if you can't question your leaders, they're not really much of a leader.
Yeah, well, I'm just...
also this goes pretty well with, everyone in World War II was an Antifa because we don't allow fascists in this country. And then when they are going after it, making a T group, it's very clear that they have become a fascist dictator, government. It's not that hard to understand.
You sounded a lot like Mamdani, so you are saying he's a fascist as well.
100%, Tim. Since he tried to coup the government 5 years ago, it's not hard to understand.
I'm going to sound like I'm pretty fluffy for asking this. We got new viewers here. How the hell did he try to coup the government? People suggest that was a peaceful protest. He told them to go peacefully and patriotically. Where the hell is he involved in a coup?
Well, it was a three-prong attack, and everyone just looks at the right. But the false electors are a pretty major prong of this, where they got all the swing states to sign false electors, and then they tried to force them into Congress, even though they weren't allowed in the building. And then they tried to pressure Mike Pence to the point where they brought gallows to January 6th. It was not one simple thing. And we have Trump's lawyers writing emails saying, if this doesn't work, we're going to jail.
Yeah, I think Elon Musk and Steve Bannon both said something like that as well. I mean, listen, I think they realize that they're pushing the envelope in a lot of areas, but with Trump offering pardons, probably like candy, they know he has their back. Somebody in the comments said, or better yet, this is the one and only MAGA Reacts pushing back on you. He says, Trump won the presidency twice, dodged 100 felonies, which is close. That's not that much of an exaggeration. But he says he dodged 100 felonies and he has billions of dollars, indicating that how the hell could you call this guy dumb or stupid?
It's pretty easy. Every time I listen to him, I want to jump off a building because it doesn't make any goddamn sense every single time. It comes back to rah, rah, I'm awesome. And I don't respect that at all.
I mean, is he not awesome? I mean, when you look at what he's accomplished.
He's the Antichrist, Tim. I don't respect the Antichrist. I don't respect dumb people like that.
Why? What makes you say Trump, of all people, is the anti? I don't think he's very religious. Neither am I. But Antichrist?
Yeah. He fits almost all of the characteristics of it.
Give me a couple of them.
Making a deal with Israel to build the temple. The ear wound that healed up immediately, and then winning over the masses to do evil things. It's not that hard to understand, Tim. I'm not super religious. I don't know all the points, but every single point I've ever heard about the Antichrist maps perfectly.
How about this? In the comments, Kabira says Merrick Garland is the reason that Trump is free. Would you agree with that?
Partly. I'm not happy with Merrick Garland because of how slow they were. They were never going to respect him for any speed that he went, even if he went twice as slow at the prosecutions.
Right.
But they tried to look like they weren't biased. And then that bit everyone in the ass because Trump is the master of paying his lawyers what? I think it was $300 million over the 3 years.
Well, he ain't paying. He's not paying it. It's coming from friends of the program. He ain't paying it.
But there was stories of him almost going completely broke because he couldn't not pay his lawyers $10 million a month or something.
That's insane. Well, you could go beyond Merrick Garland. You could probably say Mueller and Jack Smith as well. I mean, all of them kind of move slow.
Jack Smith went pretty hard. It was Merrick Garland that was holding most things up, and then Biden.
What about
his mental faculties?
What about Fonnie Willis, the fuck up down there in Georgia? I mean, wasn't she the one that was hiring her lover or something to be part? We just gave them an out.
Yeah, that wasn't the smartest idea, but she was doing a very good job of building a solid case.
But you know they go.
It doesn't want to actually look at the evidence, and they just go witch hunt, witch hunt, witch hunt.
Well, I get your point, but they gonna go through everything about you like a fine-tooth comb. Letitia James can now tell you that, but I mean, why would you do something so stupid? And I mean, you just gave them a
move, Tim.
Huh?
I don't have to. That was a dumb move. I don't have to forgive every single thing that my party does, unlike MAGA Reacts. Yeah, that was dumb. Okay.
You think MAGA Reacts would forgive anything Trump does? Fifth Avenue?
Absolutely fucking anything.
Middle of Fifth Avenue. You think you'd excuse that?
Oh, yeah. Tim, don't play this game.
I gotta ask.
Fluffer and Chief right now.
Oh my God. I have to ask. I don't know. So you're saying MAGA? I mean, listen, I think that MAGA, I have to get them on, but I think MAGA Reacts I think he would hold Trump accountable on some things. Did I lose you, Sherbert? I don't, Sherbert, you went on mute. Hang on. I see you're off mute. Hold on one second, Sherbert. Sticky Fingers. Here's a question for you, Sherbert, also. What is your opinion? He says about what is going on with JD Vance and Erica Kirk. Do you believe do you believe Erica Kirk is pregnant by JD Vance? What?
Yes. I also think JD Vance killed the Pope.
Wait, before we get to the crazy shit about the Pope, you believe Erica Kirk has been impregnated by the vice president?
I would not be surprised. I'd actually probably put $20 on it.
Wow.
Just get a DNA test once it happens.
The dude just got off in September. You think he hit it already? That's kind of disrespectful.
I'm also pretty sure she set up the hit, but that's going to get me
God
back again, like the last time we talked about this.
You think the man's broad set up? You think the man's own broad set him up to be taken out? Really? Why would Erica do that?
It's more likely than not. I mean, she is the CEO of $1 million company right now, isn't she?
I mean, but she was the wife of a CEO of $1 million. Why would she do that?
And her previous husband was very sexist and against women even working at all, let alone being the head of a company. And now she's the head of that company.
Well, listen, Sherbert, some would say the whole damn party fits that narrative. I mean, you go leave one and go to it. I mean, the whole party, the right-leaning party believes that males have a hierarchy over females, if you ask me. So I don't think leaving Kirk is going to fix that.
Her husband was very prominent in talking about that. So no, I'm not convinced that she didn't have it done. Especially the other part of that convinces me is that the stadium that they held the funeral in was rented out 3 months before.
I had somebody else I was sitting down with talking about that, saying that how could this be a legitimate assassination when the place they held the funeral at had to be rented out months ahead? Because you're right, it's a big ass stadium. Like, you don't just get that overnight. I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that.
Have you heard about Eminem looking into the financial transactions between Erica Kirk and a LLC like 2 weeks before it happened?
Eminem, the rapper?
Yeah, he was. I heard about him looking into it more, and there was like $500,000 transferred right before to one of her personal LLCs or something like that.
Not Eminem, man. I like his music. I would hate for something to happen to him. I don't want him to go out. I don't want him to be memorialized like Tupac or something. Not Eminem. Tell him to go hire somebody else and get out of this. Really? Eminem getting involved in this, huh?
I mean, that's what I heard. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about all of this, but that is my opinion. And if MAGA Reacts can turn himself into a pretzel for his opinions, I can believe in some a little out there.
Well, I'm going to probably need to hear from him. By the way, Sticky Finger says, put me down for $400. And Sherbert, we are good. There's definitely something going on. So you do have somebody in the YouTube comments that actually agree with that. Erica Kirk. So if you believe Erica Kirk possibly set up Charlie, then we got to talk about Tyler Robinson, this 22-year-old that apparently had some transgender roommate. Where does this come in then? You think she hired him?
I mean, there's always got to be a fall guy, but the evidence of the person going up the stairwell apparently doesn't match the jawline and ears of Tyler Robinson. And so there is some forensic shit that's even more questionable with the evidence that they showed us. And I don't trust Kash Patel to tell us anything of the truth.
Yeah. So you're suggesting that Tyler Robinson may just be an innocent person that is basically being, a fall guy for a murder.
Yes, 100%.
Man,
I would also put money on that.
This is some serious left-wing QAnon type shit. This is
maybe, but if Marjorie Taylor Greene and a bunch of the Republicans were full-on Q supporters, I can believe some crazy shit.
Well said. Wow. We got to talk about, I got to move it on for time reasons, but we got to talk about this a little bit more. You're really going down the rabbit hole. Is Candace Owens or anybody else in this same position on the right? Is there anybody on the right saying something similar to this?
Nah, Candace Owens is just a bitch.
Sherbert, it's always a pleasure.
The Steve Bannon's in on it, 100%.
All right, but you don't have any love for Candace Owens, obviously.
Not really.
All right, Sherbert, thanks for coming through. By the way, folks, anybody wonder how to come up? We are on TikTok as the Handsome Liberal as well, and on Instagram. Feel free to join those programs. Or if you have those apps, rather, it doesn't cost any money to come up, so you certainly bring you up. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone for their commentary. MAGA remains my preferred guest. We don't get a lot of MAGA, but we certainly we treat you with respect just like everyone else. We don't talk down to guests. You don't have to agree with anyone politically on this program. You can be critical of anyone as well, including yours truly. Tap the screen, get us on up to 30,000. Help your boy out with that TikTok crown goal. Helps out with supporting the program. $400 on Sticky Fingers. So you really believe it as well. MAGA first, says Brand. What happened to America first? And I see right before that, Sassy Mo says MAGA equals my ass got abandoned. Damn, I've heard make attorneys get attorneys, but instead of make America great again, you said my ass got abandoned. Thank you for that, Chunky Spider. Appreciate those crowns there. Absolutely a pleasure. Thank you for your support. Going back to the box shortly, Sherbert should have been censored. Why? Sherbert believes that the wife of the late Kirk had something to do with his demise. Why would you censor him for that? You realize I hear folks all the time say things like, Biden used the auto pen and he didn't mean. I mean, people say all kinds of shit. That's what free speech is about. Don't ever find yourself on the side of, I'm only for free speech when it's my speech. We don't do that here. So maybe you don't like what you hear and all of a sudden you want to censor that. But you're okay when people are saying wild shit that you agree with. That's not free speech. That's your speech. Let me go back to the box, tap the screen, get us up to 26,000. We'll take the next caller at that. If Trump follows through with the Thanksgiving message, then Trump will be the Trump people voted for. What is this Thanksgiving message? Because the last year's message, I don't know. What did you say on Thanksgiving that you're talking about? Real quick before we continue on, while folks are tapping the screen, get us on up in the likes. I want you to hear what we are.
But we do know that court records are
actually discussing. This came in by way of Adam Kinzinger on. He's the former Republican congressman out of Illinois. Now, I know my beloved MAGA has no tolerance for this guy because he was part of the January 6th hearings committee along with Liz Cheney and Nancy Pelosi. But I want you to hear what he says because this was reported by a Fox News station as well. So it's not just him. It's all over the damn place, but he explains it a little bit. And we'll start taking calls. So I want you folks to hear this. Do you think the Trump administration would actually be capable of doing something of this magnitude?
After Thanksgiving. Listen, the news about this, what they're calling the double tap of the boat. So the first strike on the boat in Venezuela, I guess Pete Hegseth had given the order that there are to be no survivors, which in and of itself is not a legal order. But regardless, gave that order. And we could even argue about whether this whole boat campaign is legal or not. I think there's obviously huge issues with it, but let's even put that aside because something way more egregious happened. So the very first strike, the boat is struck, and again, this is the very first boat in the whole campaign. It's struck, they're looking on it on infrared or on daylight TV cameras, and once the smoke basically clears from it, they notice that there are two men holding on to the boat that survived the strike. Okay, holding on, surviving. Now, let me just tell you what happened. The commander made the decision, SEAL Team 6, to go and finish these two off and kill them. Okay? Let me just be very clear. That is illegal. So here's the rule in the water, not to mention the fact that at that moment, those two are not combatants, because they've been in effect neutralized. This is the equivalent of shooting a prisoner, shooting somebody who's surrendering, or shooting a civilian, which obviously gets done, but the United States opposes and is a war crime. So there's that whole thing, which is they're unarmed combatants at that moment. They do not have, even if you want to argue that the people with a boat carrying drugs represents a clear and present danger. At that point, there is no boat. Very likely the drugs are gone because the boat was struck, and you have two people that are just simply trying to survive. The obligation then at that point for the United States is to actually rescue those two. We're obligated. It's also the law of the maritime.
So, how many of you folks believe that, first of all, this actually happened? And secondly, that Pete Hegseth was the orchestrator of it? Because they're saying that Pete Hegseth is the one that issued the order to kill everybody. By way of yes or no in the comments, yes or no. How many of you folks, if you actually believe the Trump administration would be part of something this heinous, this criminal, yes in the comments. Do you believe that Pete Hegseth would issue a war crime? I mean, a command like this? Let me know in the comments, yes or no. I want you to hear also, and I see there's some no's, but most of you folks seen the film. I haven't seen the film of this particular strike, but I'm certain I will soon, because I tell you what I'm looking for, because Trump defends himself to hell and back. He sued universities, he sued law firms, he sued television networks. If President Trump does not threaten to sue networks that are reporting this, that'll tell you everything you need to know. Because if this is a war crime, obviously, this is certainly an international violation. If President Trump just denies it, but does not do anything to take action towards those that are reporting it, that'll tell you what you need to know. So this week, I'd say by the end of this week, if he has not done that, that should tell you everything you need to know. If he has done it, then they would have to prove, they would have to disclose where they're getting the information from and probably show some kind of proof. So we'll see how the Trump administration acts. But I see a lot of you folks believe that the Trump administration, by way of Pete Hegseth, would actually be capable of doing something like this. Wow.
Our next
Here's the Fox
story brings us to the Caribbean, though. You've likely seen these types of images by now. The Washington Post has an exclusive. They say that Secretary Pete Hegseth gave an order to, quote, kill everybody in the first strike on suspected drug boats in the Caribbean back in September. The Post says after two men survived, the mission commander ordered a second strike to comply with Hegseth's instructions. Standing by is Alex Horton. He's a Washington Post military reporter. He wrote the story. He had the scoop. So, Alex, why might they want to make sure that these people were dead? Could they have learned anything from talking to possible survivors?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Austin. That's typically how it's worked in the last 20-something years of combat in Iraq.
I don't want to go too deep into his opinion, but I mean, why would they just want to kill these people? That is an interesting question to ask. We'll go to James Harper. Good afternoon. Oh, better yet, MAGA Reacts. MAGA, good evening. Welcome to the pro. Do you think Hegseth will be capable of doing something like this?
No, I think this is probably a misunderstanding, if anything.
How do you misunderstand a phrase like kill everybody?
Well, kill everybody is not the same as leave no survivors. If he said to not leave any survivors, make sure they're all dead, you guys would be correct. Kill everybody, just you're attacking and you're killing the target.
Kill everybody and leave no survivors are not synonyms, is what you're saying.
Not in this situation, no.
Okay, so wait a minute. I don't understand that.
So I can tell you, you could go attack this base and kill the enemy. That's one thing. But if they surrender and, you could take them prisoners, and I tell you leave no survivors or leave no witnesses, that would be illegal.
If you order to kill everybody, then that means when you leave, there's nobody living, right?
Yeah, I guess, but what if somebody survives the missile?
You were ordered to kill everybody. Why is he still alive?
What did this guy say when they shot at him? Whether that's legal or illegal, that's up in the air. But once they're on the side of the boat as as survivors, then when you kill them, it's illegal. But I don't think Pete's orders, if they're the way they're described, means leave no survivors.
First of all, I guess the first response I got to give, considering that these individuals in the boat are they're alleged to be transporting narcotics to some place in America, but they're not engaging in gunfire or anything with the U.S. military. So the first question I'm going to ask, why is the order kill everybody being given in any capacity, whatever it means? Why are you using that phrase? The intention, it should be to stop the narcotics from entering America, not to kill.
Listen, he wants to scare narcotics dealers into not even trying to smuggle the drug. You know, you're not gonna scare them off with arrests. You're gonna scare them off with missiles coming out of nowhere.
Well, this is him issuing the order kill everybody was not even meant for narcotics suppliers to even hear. So this wasn't meant to scare people because it wasn't meant for anybody to hear it. This is an order between military personnel.
Yeah, he gave them the order to kill the boat, to kill the people on the boat. But once they become on the side holding on, when they become survivors, that's a different situation than actively fleeing on a boat or smuggling on a boat.
So then you do realize they hit the boat blew up. The inhabitants on the boat are now left in open sea, I guess either hanging on to debris or just treading water, and they struck and hit them again. So
yeah, that second part's illegal. Now, did Hegseth order that second part? That's the question. Because I don't think saying you kill the boat people, it means the same as leaving no survivors.
So you don't believe that Hegseth would have ordered the second strike? They're calling it a double tap, by the way, but you don't believe Hegseth would have ordered the military to perform that second strike?
No, I think at worst case scenario, it might have been a misunderstanding.
Who was okay? How do you misunderstand? Who misunderstood what? You're killing folks in open sea that are no longer a threat. They no longer have the cargo. They don't even have the boat anymore. Where's the misunderstanding?
Well, he told them he obviously told them they could kill the people on the boat by shooting a missile at them. But that doesn't cover the second situation. Like you said, you're saying it yourself. The second situation is not, the second missile is not the same as the first.
Right.
We know he ordered missile number one to kill the boat and kill whoever's on the boat. But if someone's surviving on the side, at that point it becomes murder. Did he tell them to murder the survivors and leave no survivors?
So you believe whoever pulled the trigger, firing a missile, strafing with a 50 cal, whatever they use, whoever strafed them or killed them when they were in open sea, that person committed an act of murder?
Yeah, I don't think I think he misunderstood the orders. I don't think he was trying to commit murder.
Well, wait, you're killing an unarmed person in open sea. How do you misunderstand that? I mean, even if you're an E1 or the lowest level of the military, how do you think you were ordered to kill somebody floating around in open sea? I mean, how could you misunderstand that?
He rephrased that. I agree with you that it's murder. I just think he did it because he misunderstood the orders. Like you're misunderstanding the orders yourself right now.
Do you believe the person who did this, what you were referring to as murder, should be charged and brought to justice?
I mean, we got to figure out why he did it. If he did it because he's an evil son of a bitch, then yes. If he did it because he's dumb and he misunderstood the orders, like a lot of you guys are trying to misrepresent the orders right now.
How do you? I don't understand. I don't understand how you would kill an unarmed person that's floating at sea in open waters, just struggling to survive. How do you fire a second shot thinking that your orders told you to do that? Other than your orders told you to.
He thought his orders was to kill everybody.
So in other words, he don't believe his orders were stopping drugs. He believed his orders were to murder people.
You're twisting the words.
You said it's murder. Your words. You said it was murder.
The same way you're misunderstanding the orders right now, I think he misunderstood the orders in the same exact way you did.
How could you? I don't. What I'm baffled by is even okay. That would be like if somebody's firing at you, and you take the person out, and they're just limping around, bleeding out, how do you believe that you were ordered to hit them again? I mean, they're no threat anymore. The person is in open sea. They're unarmed. Why would you think your orders would indicate to finish that person off? Is that normal for our military to give orders like that?
None of this is normal. This is like a new thing that they're not used to. We already established that, right? That this is unprecedented. They haven't had to blow up drug boats like this before. So it's like you just said.
You got Alpha Male in the comments says, I'm not listening. Alpha Male in the comments says, I'm not listening to that dude no more. I'm out of here. Look, you're not going to agree with all my callers, but I'm just trying to get clarity for what you said. I see somebody else says worst caller.
It's like what you just said. You're given an order to shoot back at someone. At what point do you think you should stop shooting? Like, does that order mean that you have to kill them no matter what and make sure there's no survivors, or just shoot at them until they're no longer a threat?
I just don't. I don't think anyone in the military think that they'll be given orders to kill somebody who is literally struggling to. I mean, you're in open water. You may not make it even if they leave you out there. I mean, you're in open water. You could hypothermia. You could drown from getting simply tired of treading water. You killed that person, and somehow you thought that your orders told you to do that. But when I asked you,
how about this? We both stop speculating and we wait till we actually get what the orders were. I'm sure there's a record somewhere of what the actual orders were, and we'll read them one day, and then we'll see if he meant to kill everybody and leave no survivors, or he just meant to blow up the boat.
Well, see, this is where what Trump.
We're going to have some bullshit words of a guy that doesn't even like the administration.
What?
Are we going off Kissinger's words right now? Like,
no, this ain't. No, did you not hear the Fox News clip I played? This is coming from the Washington Post. Kissinger is just reporting like what I'm doing. He's reporting what he's heard.
Neither of them have been very clear about this. I mean, they had the order to kill. They're allowed to kill because we know that because they're shooting missiles at a boat. People are going to die.
We're talking about a
second order to not leave any survivors behind.
Yeah, but we're talking about a second strike when there's no drugs or boat present anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So we know the first strike, even if you question it, was okay. The second strike, was that part of their orders, or did they just misunderstand?
Let's say it was part of the order. Do you believe the person that gave that order should be held accountable and brought to justice?
100%. If that was clearly part of the order, then Hegseth is in trouble.
Then what baffles me,
just misunderstood the orders, then that's a
I don't. But if you, as a non-military personnel, know that is something that is so egregious, the person should face justice. How could somebody in the military confuse what you are saying is an egregious act as something they should do as part of the order? You already have made it clear that if somebody ordered him to do that, that person who ordered it should be charged with murder. So why wouldn't the pilot pulling the trigger know the same damn thing?
I mean, who knew that these people were going to survive a missile strike?
You just stated that if somebody gave the order to shoot two stragglers at sea, that person should be charged with murder. You know that as somebody who is not in the military. I'm asking you, why wouldn't the pilot, how could the pilot or the gunner or whoever pulled the trigger possibly think that what you are even saying is murder was part of his actual orders?
I don't know. That's what we got to find out. I'm not a fucking jet fighter pilot.
I think you kind of solved the case. You just don't want to admit what you're doing. You're actually pointing out that somebody should be held accountable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to crucify the pilot without knowing the whole story, and I don't want to crucify Pete either without knowing the whole story.
Do you think somebody?
I think one of them is in trouble here.
Okay.
I think if everything you're reporting is accurate, one of them is in trouble. The question is who.
Okay, so how would you feel if Trump and Hegseth never brought anybody to justice?
That would be fucked up. I would not be happy with that.
Would it make you think that maybe one of them is responsible for the actual order?
I mean, in a way, they're always going to be responsible by being president and the head of Department of War or whatever. So in a way, they're a little bit responsible. But what do you mean? Like, I mean, we're talking about the same as the drone strikes, the Obama and the Biden and the Trump drone strikes. We never really hold all the misfires against them.
No, we're talking about killing people at their most vulnerable state. We're talking about 2 men in open sea who already are facing a life and death situation. And then you come along and kill them. That's worse than any droning you're talking about. That's worse. I mean, that is the most vulnerable state you can be in, is an open sea with no vessel or anything to carry you where you're going. Just an open sea floating around, and to kill that.
But how is that worse than doing the same thing on land?
Well, you're not in a life and death situation walking around on land. This person, you're killing somebody who may already die anyway.
I mean, you just got hit by a missile. I think no matter what, on land or in the water, you're in a life or death situation.
I don't look. We're not here to debate what happened during the Iraq War. You're bringing up drone strikes. I mean, I don't know if you're trying to give Trump an out or something. That's not relevant to this, though.
I'm just saying, like, we haven't been in it. This is the first boat with the first boat strike. That means the first time they did it, they didn't know what to expect. They didn't know they didn't know the rules of engagement.
How did you not know that? You just said yourself, striking somebody that's floating at sea is murder. You know the rules of engagement without being in the military, but you're going to give somebody that actually is wearing a uniform some kind of plausible out by saying they didn't know the rules?
I'm sorry, being here at home talking about it is not the same as flying a jet fighter.
That's worse.
And attacking these people.
Flying a jet fighter is worse. If you've ever been in the air, and I've done it parasailing, you see how small a human being is in open sea. To kill that, you're telling me we're at home. It's actually worse when you pull the trigger when you're looking at it. That's actually worse because you see them splatter in the water. That's actually worse to see that. If you're watching it on FLIR, you see the white spots indicating the warm spots of the human body splashing in pieces. It's actually worse to be there doing it.
I don't know what the guy was going through. I don't know how much adrenaline was running through his veins. I don't know what he was dealing with. I don't know the situation. I've never flown a jet, and I've never shot missiles at someone. So I don't know.
You don't know what's going through. You don't know what's going through his veins. I tell you one thing, it doesn't sound like a lot of blood was going through his brains to make that. Now, let me just ask you two this way before we move it on. Does it now make a little bit more sense why they released that video preaching out against following unlawful orders? Does that now make some sense?
I doubt the two are related, but we'll see.
I don't.
Actually, the part that doesn't make sense to me is, if all of this has to do with Venezuela, why is he blowing boats up in the Pacific? I think this has to do more with stopping drug boats from freely crossing our waters.
He's not just blowing boats up in the Pacific, Magarix. He's on the other side in the Caribbean doing it too. He's on both sides.
Yeah, Venezuela is in the Caribbean. Venezuela is nowhere near the Pacific. So why is he blowing up boats in the Pacific if this all has to do with Venezuela? I think this has to do with the drugs more than anything.
There is so many whys to what's going on. First of all, why aren't you bringing these people to justice? Why are you blowing up boats and then letting some of the survivors go back home without any charges? There are so many whys to what he is doing in this shit.
He wants to scare the drug dealers shitless. Because this man cares more about the rhetoric and the effect of his rhetoric and his actions than the actual results of him stopping a couple of boats. I think the benefit of scaring drug dealers and making them think twice about, bringing drugs to America is worth more to him than.
I'm fine with frightening drug dealers, but breaking the law to do so. I mean, if you believe that people are carrying narcotics that are going to be harmful to Americans, and you're to the point where you're blowing people up and trying to kill them, if you blow up a boat and some of the people survive and you take them into custody, and all you do is release them back to their home country with no charges, you're leaving them open to coming back on another vessel and bringing drugs back in. Isn't this what we hold the liberals accountable for not keeping bad people in jail?
Or you're sending them home to tell the other drug dealers how frightening it is to have a missile hit them out of nowhere.
Okay, so anytime a bad guy is arrested by the cops and a liberal judge lets them out without punishing them, they can say, well, I'm sending them home to tell the other bad guys in their neighborhood not to do it. You'd buy that.
I mean, if that was the reason they're doing it, if they shot a missile at them and shot him full of bullets and then sent them home because he survived the bullets, I would agree with you there. But
okay, all right. So you are either for punishing crime or you're not. There's no excuse to let go of
drugs. And I'm against drug dealers being able to smuggle drugs against our waters. They're not even hiding it, Tim. These boats are clearly drug boats. I mean, can we at least admit that now that they're clearly drug boats?
Listen, if they are drug boats, then I'm going to say that what Trump is doing is not fighting drugs, because I'm asking you, why would you let go of two people that you just tried to kill without any charges? And your response, well, they wanted to use them as a message to scare everybody. That's insane. We would not tolerate that on any other level. Either the person has committed a crime and should be held accountable, or they're not. You don't shoot at somebody, and when you miss, you just let them walk away because they might scare other people. That makes no sense.
They blew up the drugs. They blew up the boat. They blew up the drugs, so they didn't miss. They just had survivors.
And they don't charge them with anything.
Because the whole point is this, like, right now we have, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, we had drug dealers transporting drugs across our waters, across open ocean with no fear. They're not trying to hide the fucking drugs. These are clearly drug boats. They're not trying to hide anything. And they felt confident enough to do that. And that's not right. They should at the least be scared that they're going to get fucking hit by a missile out of nowhere.
We don't ever use justice. We don't ever use justice just to scare people. If you committed a crime and you got caught committing a crime, certainly a crime that's so heinous, we just tried to kill you. And now all of a sudden, because we didn't succeed in killing you, we're going to let you go in hopes that it scares you. That's what you're telling me, right?
The blowing of the boat is is what's supposed to scare the enemy, the drug dealers.
Okay, that makes
whether people make it home or not, who cares? I really don't care. The part where they're gonna think twice about being in a drug boat going across the oceans. Now they might even try.
You lost me. You lost me.
Actual boat.
You lost me if they tried to scare the person. That is the lamest. Real quick in the comments, Mr. Spackerville says, here's why the Democrats made the commercial MAGA pretzel, suggesting that you might be the actual incentive for creating a. I gotta move it on though. Go ahead, real quick. I'll give you the last word.
When are we gonna fix your live? Like, you keep complaining that you can't take calls from YouTube, and I have a very easy solution. I'll teach you how to do it. You could take a bunch of calls on Zoom and share the Zoom on your TikTok through a window share. I already tested it for days. I got it ready to go. It's very simple. All you need is a computer or a laptop and your phone.
All right, well, we got it.
You'll be able to take any call using a Zoom link. You just post the link, people click on it, and then you accept them one at a time on Zoom. And then
is there a fee for this?
Completely free. All you need is a computer. Any laptop, any PC could do it.
I'm down with it. Okay, we'll talk about it after the show. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. Moving on with the program, Free Didio. I don't know what Trump made part. In fact, one of was it his brother or one of the relatives? This is kind of off topic real quick, but one of the relatives of P. Diddy, they played a clip of him on the Breakfast Club stating that Diddy was going to be home soon. And he made it sound like he may be home for the holidays, like for Christmas and New Year's. The only way that could happen is by a presidential pardon or some kind of, I'm just saying his relative indicated that Diddy would be home soon. So I don't know if Trump's going to pardon Diddy, but Trump often does things to simply show that I can do it no matter what they say. Anyway, going back to the comments, be careful, Tim. He's probably on Grindr. Don't trust MAGA men, says 12 McAdams. Well, MAGA Reacts is a friend of the program. He's been a viewer for quite a while. We don't agree on hardly anything politically, but you know what I say, we don't block, ban, or censor, so you don't have to agree with me or anyone else on the program. We believe in free speech. We believe in doing it without any censorship. So I'm interested to see, because I want to talk to more MAGA, so if he has a way of making it so, because I got a lot more YouTube viewers that are MAGA, and I would love to be able to let them come up and state their cases as well. That's what we do. Anyway, we're going to figure it out. America is back. USA is closed for maintenance, says Mercenary. That's what Trump said, is that they're going to shut down the border and immigration from all third world countries until the U.S. can get their immigration policies and things like that in order. By the way, that probably means it won't be open for the rest of Trump's term. I don't think Trump will ever say immigration is up to par now. We can start accepting Afghanis back again. For Trump, that's probably going to be an off-limits thing. Tap the screen, get us on up to 60,000. We'll take the next caller shortly. Debo said that my last caller was so much off of his rocker,
and that's where
that the lights are going down.
Militants are engaged in ground combat, but there is also value in.
Real quick, before we go on to the next caller, tap the screen, get us up to 60,000. This is something we were also discussing, because this is one of those cases where Trump may be right. This is one where I have to reach over and grab my Trump was right hat, perhaps. We'll talk about it. Real quick, if you enjoy this type of dialogue from all sides of the aisle, feel free to follow the program if you're currently watching us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. Give your boy a sub if you're watching on YouTube. Help your boy get that TikTok crown goal. We're close, about halfway there. Help your boy out. Support the program.
Continue with our top stories that we're following here. We want to bring you a bit of breaking news. I'm putting this up on your screen. It's from Brooke Taylor with Fox News, saying exclusive. An Afghan national was arrested on Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok, indicating that he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area there in Texas. This is all according to the Department of Homeland Security. I want to put up some video that we have there of that suspect in full there on your screen. But we do know that court records are showing that the man is now being charged with making a terroristic threat at the state level. He came into the U.S. as a part of the Biden administration's Operation Allies Welcome, just like the D.C. shooting suspect. On September 7th of 2022,
So what do you think? Now, this is the second Afghan being involved in some sort of act of terror in the last week. Is Trump right? You know, I hope that Trump was right, had to ask you folks. Was Trump right to shut down the border to Afghanis? You got two of them now. One obviously took the life of one National Guards woman and critically wounded another. And now we got another individual here that Homeland Security is suggesting was actually contemplating some sort of explosive in Fort Worth, Texas. Was Trump correct in banning American shores to anyone from the nation of Afghanistan? In addition to that, it sounds like he's going to deport all the Afghanis that are here as well, which is a few thousand. There's thousands of them that are here. You hear Operation Allies or whatever this was, came in under the Biden administration. A lot of folks on the right are blaming Biden for what happened in D.C. the other day with the two National Guardsmen, but that is where we're at. Was Trump correct in shutting off access to America from Afghanistan? James Harper, appreciate you holding there. James, good afternoon. Or good evening, rather.
Hey, what's going on, Tim?
Not much at all. Good to hear from you again. So what do you think? Afghan off limits? What say you?
It's awfully convenient that like somebody just decided to go 80s cartoon villain and just decide to monologue their whole scheme before they even like pulled off the plan.
It is a bit interesting that somebody would go and announce something like this on TikTok. Are you suggesting that you're doubting what's coming out of Homeland Security?
Oh yeah, you damn right I'm doubting it. Because let's not forget, didn't Trump say, "Oh, he brought peace to us in Afghanistan"? Like he ended that war.
Yeah.
So if you ended that war, why are there still people from there? All of a sudden, like they're evil. And we shouldn't allow none of them in our country. If you settled it with peace.
Well, it could be a case of folks believe that these individuals are just naturally radicalized due to Islam. I had somebody last night arguing that with me, that just simply being a believer in Islam, having that as your faith, naturally radicalizes you, right? I vehemently disagree with it, but
and the person who said that was an absolute idiot, because we have millions of Muslims in this country and none of them seem to be doing anything against us. So how is it because they're Muslim, they're automatically just going to try to attack the country?
And that's kind of the point I use. And by the way, real quick in the comments, SD says brought in after assisting the U.S. and then betrayed. By the way, how about this one, James? I heard one of my viewers on Instagram earlier said that, now, you know, when these people come over as refugees, we give them a financial stipend for a while till they can get back on their feet. And one of my viewers suggested that under the Trump administration, you know, they're canceling entitlements from everywhere, that they canceled the financial assistance that the individual that took out the National Guardsman was receiving. So you're about to make them essentially homeless. But somebody suggested that that may be what's behind this, is that with Trump canceling, because now he's talking about canceling all benefits to immigrants anyway.
That would be stupid. Like, if anything, it'll just put more people out on the street. But that wouldn't make them just decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to videotape myself making the damn bomb and I'm just going to attack the country.
That is interesting for somebody to go on TikTok and make a video about how they're going to. So you don't believe that at all?
No, this is the same administration that just happens to come on to have like all this incriminating evidence, like merely days after the incident. It's like they all got all the smoking guns just like that. No real detective work or nothing. It's just everything just so happens to drop into their lap.
Well, I mean, listen, the Trump administration might just be on it. Maybe they're working hard. Some would say, unlike the Biden administration, they keep us advised on what they're doing.
And how many times has old boy with the bug eyes been wrong about like stuff that he put out on the internet like hours after he got to go back and recant what he said?
It happens often. It happens often. You're talking about President Trump. Real quick in the comments. I mean, better real quick on my screen here. I'm trying to see if I can pause my damn TV. It says, this is Hexef. As usual, the fake news is delivering more fabricated, inflammatory, and derogatory. Oh, shit. He released a statement. It's coming in now, but Hexef has released a statement about the notion that they're blowing up boats. I was trying to read it in my... Okay, here he goes. He says, reporting this to discredit incredible warriors fighting to protect the homeland. As we said from the beginning and in every statement, these highly effective strikes are specifically intended to be lethal kinetic strikes. The declared intent is to stop lethal drugs, destroy narco boats, and kill the narco terrorists who are poisoning the American people. Every trafficker we kill is affiliated with a designated terrorist organization. Biden administration preferred the kid gloves approach, allowing millions of people, including dangerous cartels and unvetted Afghans, to flood our communities with drugs and violence. The Trump administration has sealed the border and gone on the offense. There's a little bit more there. I was reading it quick because I knew it would disappear, but that's coming from Hexef. So according to Hexef, it's bullshit.
You mean the same guy that constantly leaks shit on unsecured chats, giving out plans and things like that?
This is Peter. You think Peter Hexef is a bad guy? You make him sound like a villain.
Pete Hexef is a guy who should never be in charge of nothing. Every organization he's in charge of, he ends up trying to embezzle money from it.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you forgot about that? Remember, like, he was in charge of two veteran charity groups that he had to get kicked out of because he didn't spend all their damn money.
I remember hearing about it. So you're telling me Hexef is a corrupt individual?
Hexef is an individual who shouldn't be in charge of nothing. And now that you give him like actual power, now he wants to prove he's a tough guy, and he's going after these countries that won't strike back against us.
Well, I actually do agree that the only reason we're hitting Venezuela, just like we bombed Iran's facilities, are we doing this to countries that we know are not going to fight back? I mean, but that ain't something unique to the Trump administration. We've always been kind of bullying folks like that. And I see in the comments a positive change is agreeing with you. Says, yep, he's right. But I do think we do act as a bully, because once you get your hands on a nuclear weapon, or you can present some type of real resistance to us, we don't fuck with you as easy. Which makes sense that some of these countries are trying to get their hands on a nuclear bomb, because once they get one, America will leave them alone.
Except what he wants to pretend that he's strong with a white Christian army, when it's not going to happen like that.
A white? Where are you getting this from? What do you mean by a white Christian army?
Look at the policies that he's putting in. Those policies are trying to get rid of women and black people and anybody that doesn't fit his narrative.
Now I know about the razor bump issue, which will take out some black males, but that won't take out.
It's not just the razor bump issue. He's also changing. He's also changing like how people can have their hair and things like that, and making up bullshit reasons for it.
But how are they going to get rid of black people? You're not in the military with dreads.
You're not in the military with dreads, but the thing is, those health issues are real. And his answer for that is, well, if you can't shave like I want you to shave, we're just going to put you out.
I don't, you know something, I don't agree with the razor bump thing, you know, there, because, listen, I had razor bumps quite a bit myself as a young man, and I don't see how that would have interfered with me serving in the military whatsoever. I don't know. I mean, because there's plenty of white people. Hold on.
With military.
There's plenty of white people that have pizza face from zits and all kinds of shit. They don't kick them out. I don't know why he would do that.
You know exactly why. You just don't want to admit it, Tim.
I don't know.
You seen the tattoos, Tim. You seen the tattoos.
We did a whole show. We did a whole show on Pete Hegseth's tattoos.
Exactly. You've heard about the affiliations he had with groups that were like that, and that he vehement denies. And you see how he's acting towards like Confederate leaders and things like that. Talking about, oh yeah, we need to change these boats that were named after black and gay people and turn them back into Confederate names. And you mean to tell me that's not targeted?
Well, I guess the first thing I would wonder is, I mean, we've had a lot of wars since the Civil War. Why is there so much focus on the Confederates? I mean, you know, name it after somebody who fought in World War I or the Spanish-American War or the Revolution or World War II, Vietnam. Why is there so much focus on the Civil War and Confederates?
Because they feel like that's us trying to go too politically correct by getting rid of those names. It's being too woke.
Well, according to Trump, the liberals, the woke side of the Liberal Party was trying to basically kill off history.
Says the party that's actively erasing black accomplishments.
I had to try. But I do agree with that. Tim. Yeah, I gotta try. I gotta make sure you're on your toes. But I do agree that you can't claim that taking down Confederate statues and monuments is killing history, but you're saying shut up about slavery, even though when both of those events happen at the same time. In other words, you want to kill some history, but you want some history to live on. I mean, but is it racism though?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. How you going to erase these people that actually helped history for people who actually like went against America? How you the party of being patriots, but you're celebrating the one group that actually tried to fight the American country?
It's a good point. I mean, that's certainly a good point. All of the Confederates were committed an act of treason. They were fighting against their own country. I don't understand why the right is so favorable to these individuals. Like I said, they don't talk about that. They don't talk about folks who fought on behalf of the United States in any other war as much as they do the Confederate soldiers. I don't know why they favor, unless maybe they want to do something similar, maybe secede from the United States themselves.
They want to play that underdog rebel fighting for what they believe in. That's what they want. They want to live that fantasy. That's why every time Democrats in charge, they're all up for seceding from you and protecting their guns. They see themselves as like having to one day fight the government.
Well, but I mean, even if you're talking about you want to look at them as the little guy fighting against a juggernaut or whatever the case may be, you know, or fighting against taxation or whatever. They had bad intentions. There's no denying that. Even if the Confederates had to beat off the government and seceded, they had bad intentions for a whole lot of people. Probably for anybody that was not a white male. They were not going to be favorable to women. They were obviously not going to be favorable to minorities.
Every time you bring that up, what's the first thing they say? Oh no, that's not what it was about. It was about freedom. We weren't trying to do that. We weren't trying to do that.
Well, they say it was not over slavery, but I'll just say it like this. You can look at the actions and behavior of the Confederate States for at least 100 years after they lost the Civil War. And you can tell based on how they continue to act without a lot of government interference. You can only imagine what they would have done if they won. I mean, they were oppressing people even after losing. So it clearly wasn't fighting for everybody's freedom because they were denying freedom for many.
Exactly, and then you also got to look at the flag that they're waving. That flag came about during Jim Crow law, not when the Confederate was actually doing anything. That was Jim Crow's time.
Yeah. Well, so do you think the Trump administration supporting the Confederate movement, do you think they support that stuff like Jim Crow laws and all of that?
You never see them. You never see them going against it. You never see them denouncing any of that shit.
Trump denounced white supremacy. I mean, he denounced. He did. He said. I mean, there are videos. I could probably bring up a video of him. He's denounced white supremacy.
How much was he pressured to do that? Like, how many people were beating down his neck saying, "Hey, why don't you stop this? Why don't you stop that?"
I mean, it took, just like with the Charlottesville thing, it took a day or two for him to do it, but he did do it though. And I see that. Hang on one second, real quick. I'll let you continue. But Dennis Calhoun says Trump to pardon drug kingpin from the Honduras. Has anybody heard that? Trump to
he actually said he was going to do that. But
I thought it was about drugs.
Pardon the drug kingpin. Exactly. Every time MAGA says it's going to be, he's out there trying to do this, and that, he comes around and do the exact opposite, and then they twist themselves to excuse what he's talking about.
Yeah, that makes no sense. If you were in favor of, preventing harmful drugs from coming into the country, but then you're okay to pardon a drug cartel kingpin, something does not make sense there. So what do you think what do you think they're doing in the Caribbean? If it's not about drugs, which is what you seem to be saying, why do you think they're killing people down there?
Flexing muscle.
For what purpose?
To spark a problem so that they can say, oh, we're at war, and then that's when he's going to start pulling the bullshit of, oh, well, we can't have this election like this because right now we're at war. We need to keep the strong leader in power.
I don't think that works in America. I mean, we had elections during World War II. I don't think that actually works in America though. I don't think you can do that.
It's not going to work, but he's still going to try it. He thinks that he's got enough people to actually do that. Like, and then that's another thing that Mr. Magic just said. It's about the resources, because look at the country that he really wants to get into.
Nigeria. Yeah.
And those are resource-rich countries. What he's trying to do is the same thing that was supposed to happen in Iraq and Afghanistan. We're supposed to go in, we're supposed to bring freedom to these people, and in turn, we're supposed to get access to those resources.
Yeah, well, I mean, but at the end of the day, if it is about resources, and we do go in Venezuela or Nigeria and we get their resources, and it does end up making Americans wealthier, whatever the case may be, you think we would hold him accountable, or you think we would actually give him credit for? I mean, because if we end up taking the oil from Venezuela or from Nigeria, and all of a sudden you're paying $1.05 a gallon at the pump, are we going to condemn him or celebrate him?
Tim, do you want to know why it didn't work in Iraq?
Why? Because we didn't take their oil.
No, what happened is our oil barons were supposed to go in there and work to get those resources. But the problem was the Iraq government didn't give them the percentage that they wanted. They said 13%, and those guys wanted 25%. And they said, if you're not going to give us 25%, we're not going to do it. And who went in and took that 13% and started working there? China.
But you're talking about Trump now, James. He has a special set of negotiating skills. He's a little different than Bush or Obama. Yeah, appreciate that, Love the Cruz. Thank you. I mean, he's a little different.
That's because Bush and Obama didn't do the direct negotiation. Trump thinks he's going to go and do the direct negotiations, and he's going to be the one that gets that to get that kind of thing, and it's not going to work.
Well, let's be clear. Trump is going to go in there basically saying, do it my way or you're going to potentially perish. He's not negotiating. He's kind of doing it like a mob boss. I would hate for something to happen to your shop. Give me 10% in protection fees. I mean, that's the kind of way Trump
because that idiot doesn't think rules apply to him and he can just do what he wants. That's why he's starting to get pushback now.
I mean, but do they? Some would argue he's right. I mean, you're calling him an idiot, but some would argue he's right. He has been able to thwart a hell of a lot of rules.
That's because that's because those Republicans they weren't going to go against them. But now you see that Marjorie Taylor Greene is actually corroborating that rule that a lot of them are going to retire before the end of their term, which means that Trump is going to be in trouble.
I'm hearing that, but do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene is correct? You actually believe that Republicans in Congress and possibly the Senate are going to retire before the midterms or resign? You actually believe that's going to happen?
I believe there's going to be some retirements going in, and then the way that things are going now, it's going to be a lot of people that's going to vote the other way, and Trump is going to try and like suppress that results, just like he's suppressing the jobs and other stuff because he knows that's going to work against him. And it's going to make it look like his administration is failing.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of power to be gained if Trump gets a third term where he stays in office. If you're a Republican politician,
hey Tim, look at the chat. They said somebody just resigned today.
Who? Wait a minute. Who the hell resigned today? One Republican, one other representative has resigned. I did hear, something. Somebody did say that. I heard that. Who was that person? Somebody let me know in the comments. Who did resign? Someone in Texas. Trump is not getting a third term since Trump McAdams. I got to move it on, James, but I don't know. So you think Marjorie Taylor Greene is on to something? Because this could end up leading to the Republicans losing their majority before the midterms, if that happens.
And it's going to happen. And the same thing that Bannon said, if that happens, a lot of people going to go to jail. And he's right. A lot of people is going to go to jail. And another thing, stop bringing MAGA reacts on because he has no idea what he's talking about any goddamn thing.
I got to give the MAGA side a chance to speak. They say the same about the liberals, though, James. They say the liberals don't know what they're talking about either.
But MAGA reacts is definitely, like, every time you start to push back, what do? He try to change the subject or try to bring up something else because he can't argue the points that you make. And you ain't even trying to argue points. You just use his own logic against them.
Fair enough, James. Always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
All right, Tim.
Anytime, man. Tap the screen, folks. Get the likes on up to, we can do 80 if you will. How you doing? Love your show. Thank you very much there, Albert. Appreciate the compliment and appreciate you being here. People resign every term. How many more than average? I don't know. Well, here's the problem, Jonathan, is that the Republicans only have a small majority in Congress. So don't take the resignations lightly. If too many people resign, like I said, it could literally go from Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, to Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries. You could literally switch speakers. If the Democrats get the majority, then Hakeem Jeffries takes over Johnson's spot, and you're going to have chaos. You're going to have chaos if that happens. It's going to be a whole different Congress if Hakeem Jeffries get the majority, because at this point, you're going to have nothing but Democrat unity when they're firing missiles at Trump. It's going to be a whole different ball game, and it would make Trump significantly weaker as president because Congress has a lot of power that they're not using right now under President Trump. They have a lot of power. They just let him. His administration is going to be much, much weaker. Anyway, looking in the comments, get us up to 80,000. We'll take the next caller at 80. Tim out, what do you say? Turn out for what exactly? What do you mean by that? Yeah, good luck with that. We'll see. We'll see if other people follow Marjorie Taylor Greene on the way out. But I'll tell you this, I don't know if it's going to happen. But fact is, seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene go down like that would let MAGA know that anybody can go down because she was more MAGA than anybody else that we had out there. So, I mean, that may tell some of the Republican members of Congress that if they can do it to her, they can do it to you. I mean, he's gotten, he was at odds with Mike Pence in his first term. He trashed Elon Musk during the early parts of his second term, and now he's gotten Marjorie Taylor Greene. So understand, anybody can get it. Trump is making it clear anybody can get it. So looking in the comments, though, his poll numbers have plummeted. Speak on that. People don't always take the poll numbers serious, Mac. I mean, Biden's poll numbers were pretty bad. That's why I often bash Kamala Harris for saying she wouldn't do anything different from Biden when his poll numbers were trash. But continuing on with the program, Mike, Marjorie Taylor Greene was used like Charlie Kirk. All he does is use people. Ooh. Mike, good evening.
I need to start paying you to come on your panel because I'm yet right again. Oh, you need to be paying me. I'm right again. So the congressman out of Texas resigned today. He announced after the next legislation period in January he's going to step down.
What is their majority? How many members they have over the Democrats? How many more need to leave before they don't have the majority anymore?
I think it's several. I think you're like 5 or 6 more need to go, but still, I mean,
it's getting weaker, is what you're saying.
Resigned today. Yeah, and I told you, it's not over. It's not over.
Well,
these people are moving out of the way.
Moving out of the way from what?
What I told you there will be one before the beginning of the new year, didn't I?
Yeah, you did say that. You did say that.
Yeah, I did say that.
You think it's going to be any more?
Yeah, I did.
Think it's going to be any more?
Yeah. Yep, I do. Yep, I do.
Did he?
I do.
What excuse did he give as to why he's resigning?
I didn't see his reasoning. I saw that he had called Trump to let him know before he did it, right? So he kissed his ass before he did it, but he still did it.
I just Googled it. Out of the 435 of them, 219 are Republicans, 213 are Democrats, no independents, and 3 vacancies. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And so now they're going to be down to 217 to 213. So they only have a 4-seat margin with the vacancies right now. Yeah.
So he's going to really need all of the Republic. Well, he really ain't using Congress any damn way, though.
Yeah, he ain't doing shit with him anyway.
As long as he has the majority, then they'll just remain silent and let him do what only thing he has to fear is losing the majority. As long as he had a majority, they're not going to get in his way anyway.
That is correct. But you don't think that that's a disturbing trend? You go from November 4th in the elections, and then today, we're not a month away from the elections, and you've had 2 more Republican Congress members resign. That's not a concerning trend. You don't think that's a trend coming?
I mean, shit, just him winning was a concerning trend. I mean, everything about his presidency has been a concerning trend, but that's what we elected.
Well, that's what they elected. Stop saying we.
We as a country, goddammit, we elected Trump. He's our president. Is he not our president?
Listen, he is the president. But here's the thing.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, because he said he hates Democrats. So he doesn't represent me. He doesn't represent you. Those are his words, not mine.
Well, I see in the comments, John says, I am a Trump supporter, and I never did like Marjorie Taylor Greene. So there you go.
Yeah, of course. Of course. But ask him this. Does he? Because I'm sure he supports all of the attacks on Venezuela. Can you ask anybody or MAGA Reacts to justify why you support him on the war on smugs? Yet and still you don't have. He just pardoned the president of Honduras, who was a known drug trafficker. Can anybody explain that to me?
Like I tell folks all the time, Trump is viewed very similar to a deity where, they say God works in mysterious ways. That is what is often applied to Trump. As opposed to saying Trump works in mysterious ways, it's usually he's playing chess or 4D chess or something like that. Because just like with God, many folks will say, even though you may not understand what he's doing, he is doing something on your best behalf. A lot of folks view Trump the same way. So when you point out stuff that don't make sense, like you're talking about pardoning one drug dealer while blowing up others, just understand Trump works in mysterious ways.
And then what I understand is you're full of shit. And I know what you're saying, but you're full of shit.
I'm just saying. This is
and you know it is. But I want you to see, when I tell you don't ask the right question, you should know that. So when they come up and talk about Venezuela and Pete Hegseth and what he just said, how can you justify doing that? Mind you, this man was convicted in the United States for moving over 60 tons of narcotics, and he got a full pardon from Trump yesterday.
Let's just be clear. I mean, look, we can fluff, we can talk, we can hash, we can pass this shit around like old chums. But fact is, and I know my beloved MAGAs not gonna like to hear this, but with enough money, you can buy a pardon from Trump. That's why he is pardoning some folks that look suspicious. These people are buying them off. I mean, it is what it is. The Binance founder with the cryptocurrency all of a sudden gets pardoned. Trump is portraying an individual that is pro law enforcement, pro police, or whatever the case may be, which as long as he ain't paying me no money, I am pro law enforcement. But if he's doing something to benefit me or my family substantially, then I'm going to let him out. I mean, that's what's likely happening is they're buying him out.
Tim, okay, whatever. The bottom line is, how can your message be you're trying to make Americans safe and keep smugs off of our streets? And the man you just let, he was known for creating a easy networking channel from other countries into the United States.
Maybe it's like Magariak said, you know, he's scared now, and Trump told him, are you going to be good, though? Are you going to be a good guy? And the guy said, yeah, all right, so let him out. He said he's going to be good.
How do you even say that shit? How does that shit even come out your mouth? I mean,
look, I made it clear. I made it clear. These people, my guess is if you end up getting a liberal administration where they have a significant amount of power, they're going to be able to demonstrate how a lot of these people were involved in financial transactions that ended up landing in the hands of Trump or some associate. I just personally, whether it's the folks in Qatar, whether it's the Saudis getting F-35s, whether it is the cartel members you're talking about now, them folks, some way, somehow, are doing something that is beneficial to Trump, his associates, or his family. That's why they're getting these strange pardons. That's the way I believe it's happening.
And you could be right, but that's really not the premise of the conversation. It's really about your messaging, his messaging, his ideology of protecting this country from these cartels and that's the justification for blowing up these boats. Yes. So how can you say that while simultaneously pardoning criminals? He's not the first criminal. What about El Chapo's people being allowed to come here? Yeah. And again, someone said in the comments, they're next. They're going to end up getting a pardon too. You watch. Here's the thing, because criminals do criminal shit, and Trump is a criminal. Here's just period. Trump's a criminal. Listen, Trump is nothing but, we've been talking about the Gestapo and the crime families. They're operating just like a crime family. They put on a suit and they make it look good while they're bringing senators and congressmen into their crime family. That's what we're seeing right now.
How about this, though? How about this? Like you may have drug dealers or mafia in your neighborhood, but during the holidays, they pass out a turkey because they're on your block. They make sure no crime is on your block. They keep it away from the block. I mean, is it possible to have a criminal, but the criminal is doing things that work to your benefit? Like, let's say Trump is ripping off other countries or, taking the resources from Venezuela, but it results in cheaper gas prices here or America becomes safer. Would you overlook the actions of somebody that may be committing crimes overseas if it benefited you?
No, he's not fucking Robin Hood. What are we doing? He's not Robin Hood. What is this, Robin Hood men in tights? You think Trump is taking from others to give to the less fortunate? Is it? Listen, if that were the argument, we can have that conversation. But that's not what we're talking about.
Well, if hold on. If let's say, for instance, he takes the resources from a country like Venezuela, a country like Nigeria, or even the precious metals or shit he was trying to get out of Ukraine. You don't think it'll benefit the American citizen one bit?
No, not one bit.
So what are they going to be, gazillionaires?
Yes. Any other questions?
Damn.
I mean, a matter of fact,
you gonna take a whole country's resources and keep it for yourself at the crib?
Well, if you call the crib cis white gender men, yes. If that's your name for white men, then yes. You call them the crib, then that's where they're trying to direct this money to. Let me ask you this: where else have you seen them doing anything for anyone else?
That's a hard question to answer.
No, it shouldn't be.
It's a hard question to answer.
It should be very easy. It should be very easy to align the president's decisions for this country with how it's going to benefit the country. So you're saying you couldn't do it with Agenda 47? You couldn't align his agenda with how it's going to benefit all of American people? What about the big beautiful bill? None of that aligned for all people, as we've been saying. So the question goes to Trump supporters and conservatives: when has conservatism ever helped all people in marginalized communities?
Well, wait a minute. There is nothing a politician is going to ever do that helps everybody.
Well, no. Well, if the policy is for all Americans, then it will help all Americans. That's not true, Tim.
Give me a policy that helped all Americans.
DEI. Who did DEI leave out?
DEI was not beneficial to white males at all. In fact, it was harmful. It was harmful to white males.
No. What it did is it provided. And see, here's the thing: you call it harm. It started leveling a playing field that was never labeled.
That's harmful. That's harmful. Have you not heard that when you have supremacy, equality is harmful? It feels like harm. I mean, if I knew I was going to get the harm. If I know by being a white male, I'm going to supersede anyone else, even if my qualifications are less than theirs, and then some guy comes along and makes things equal, that's harmful to me. You knocked me down a couple notches.
That's your feeling. But it really gave someone an opportunity that they never had before. There's a distinct difference in there. There's a distinct difference.
You gave them an opportunity at the expense of my privilege.
No.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Again,
that hurts. You're hurting white males.
It hurts. Oh, Pookie. Your feelings are hurt.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
You're taking
feelings are hurt.
No, it's hurting more than that. You may be making it harder for me to get a college loan, or you may be making it harder for me to get jobs and promotions. You're taking things from me that were guaranteed. You're taking things that my privilege would have gotten me, and now all of a sudden I got to compete with black people and Hispanics and women and all this shit. Yeah, that's harmful to white males.
I know you're being the antagonist right here, and I love how you do it without a smile.
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you.
But the bottom line is this: if you're telling me that white America is uncomfortable because their white privilege isn't as succinct as it's been in the past, and somehow we're supposed to disregard the advantages or the benefits that it gave us that we didn't have before, and they're hurt by that, then I don't give a fuck about their feelings. Weren't the Republicans the party of fuck your feelings?
Yeah.
Isn't that what MAGA's been saying?
That is true.
So Trump and his administration has convinced. Oh, I see Danny in the comments too. You should bring Danny up after me. So you're saying that somehow we should acquiesce to their feelings?
You said what?
You're saying that we should somehow acquiesce to a white supremacist feeling?
I'm explaining it. I'm not saying you should acquiesce to any damn thing. I'm just explaining it.
Guess what? 92% of black women and 80-something% of black men already knew that.
But I got white men in the chat and white women in the chat. I got people from other countries. I'm talking to a broader audience than just black people.
Sure. But again, anybody that believes they're losing something or they lost something because of DEIA or wokeism, I'm doing the air quotes, they're just scared of competition. But are you asking me to care?
Well, I'm just saying, and by the way, speaking of which, one of my callers, Burlock or something, says the caller is a profoundly idiotic fool. So you got to be true.
Yeah, of course. You know what? I don't expect any of those people to say anything different. Do I expect that man that said that or the handsome conservative to agree with what I'm saying? They agree with what you said.
No, they don't always. They think I'm a libtard too. It's just the problem is just that the right thinks I'm a libtard and the left thinks I'm a sellout.
Yeah, but look at Handsome's conservative's comment. DEI is to take from somebody else to give to a racial group of people, which is not true at all. But that's what they believe because they have the ideology that you just spoke of. And with that being said, should black people care?
Should black
people care?
Should black people care if they are unfairly? And let's say handsome conservatives is correct. I disagree with him. I disagree with him. Right, I disagree with him too. But let's say he's correct. Should they? Because this is, like you said, this is what they believe. Should black people care if they are wrongfully taking jobs from whites? Is that what you're asking me?
No. I'm not asking you that question. I'm saying I don't even want to go down the rabbit hole if DEI was the thing they said it is, because the minute you say it, they think it was real. You got to understand their level of, or their inability to do critical thinking puts us in this place where we are, right? He thinks DEI is something that is not. He thinks somehow a minority or being given something that they didn't earn and are taken away from white people, and now they're whining and crying about something that they lost. Even Charlie Kirk said it, and I told you that. Charlie Kirk said when he talked about Jackson,
the black
and
pilot,
Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Right. And he said that those black women got jobs that they were stealing jobs from white men. So what you just said is what they believe, Tim. They believe that just because you're trying to even the playing field, that it's stealing or taking something from them. That's what they believe.
That is true.
That's their billing. That's their feelings and beliefs. What I'm asking you is, are you saying that we, as African Americans or Hispanics that didn't vote for this regime, should feel sorry because white people are in their feelings about an opportunity that they believe is theirs? I told you this is the participation trophy mentality.
Well, I don't think that African Americans, and I don't expect African Americans to feel sorry, but you're right. I do understand I understand what whites are complaining about. I don't totally agree with it. For instance, I don't believe DEI means didn't earn it, because that's the Charlie Kirk reference. He believes that if you're DEI, you didn't earn it. I always use the example of, let's say, for instance, I live in a white neighborhood and I need to hire a couple movers to come to my house while I'm at work. So I called the moving company and I said, I need you to send 5 movers to take all this shit out of my house. But because my neighborhood is white, make sure you send 5 white guys, because I don't want people calling the cops. That don't mean the 5 white guys they send are unqualified. They chose them because they're white, but that don't mean, and that's what people believe, that if you choose a black person to be a pilot, as Charlie Kirk was talking about, it automatically means that person's going to be unqualified. No, you could choose somebody because of their color, but they still could be qualified. So I don't know why that's coming up, because the first thing you think of, like Charlie Kirk suggested, when you see a black pilot, is that they somehow don't have the qualifications, and that doesn't have anything to do with it.
I know, and the minute that you leave space for them to even just a monicum of credence to that, then they stay with it, right? I mean, we can show them all the data they want about people's qualifications, who's qualified and who's really not qualified. And there's more people in this Trump administration that have no business being in the roles they're in than there were for any other presidency in the history of this country. Or at least the last 50 years.
No, they think it's
not even close.
They think Hegseth is highly qualified, so they
I know what they think. They also thought that this attorney that moved those cases forward for Letitia James and James Comey were qualified. She was qualified and she wasn't.
Yeah.
Right? We can go on and on about who's qualified and who's not, but the bottom line is they're in their feelings about it, and they're taking their feelings of supremacy, because if that's not supremacy, if that's not white supremacy, what is?
Well, let me ask you this one, because we talk about this woman all the time. Was she qualified? Kamala Harris, was she qualified to be president?
100%.
All right, fair enough.
100%.
Just wanted to ask that. All right, Mike, I do got to move it on. But last but not least, Trump is banning all Afghans to and fro, want to deport the ones that are here, blocking him from coming in here because of what happened with the National Guard. But they're also suggesting that another one was threatening to use some sort of explosive device in Fort Worth. Now, a lot of my viewers don't believe the Fort Worth claim, but do you believe that what he is doing, blocking folks from Afghanistan from coming here, deporting the ones that are here that came in under the Biden administration, would that make America safer?
No, because the real danger is not them. The real danger is the 2 men behind you. It's not the Afghans.
You think Pete Hegseth is a danger to America?
I think both of them are a danger to America. Matter of fact, what you have behind you are two murderers or accessory at a minimum. At a minimum.
Well, I'm not aware that Trump. Well, you're talking about all of the bombings.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about everything.
Okay.
They're at minimum accessories. At minimum.
Well, if Pete Hegseth used the words "kill everybody," that's pretty damning. I mean, if he actually used the words what they're suggesting he said is "kill everybody," that's no mission should be. That shouldn't be part of any mission. You know, blowing up a boat and using the phrase "kill everybody." That should be stop that boat, stop the boat, but kill everybody.
That's what should happen, but that's not what they did. That's not what they want to do. They're doing exactly what they want to do, and they don't care about the collateral damage.
You think anybody will ever be held accountable?
That's a good question. That part, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that at the end of the day, I think that we're going to see as we get closer to midterms.
Well, that's coming fairly soon. 11 months. I got to move it on. Mike, thank you for coming through.
All right.
Anytime. All right, moving on with the program. By the way, tap the screen, get us on up, but we're getting close to the 100, HUNNIT, Tap the screen, get us up to 90,000. Looking in the comments here, give the people what do you want. Hands are conservative, but this is supposed to be the president of peace. Has Trump ever promised to be the president of peace? We're sick of you talking about the Vice President Harris. Case the grandma, lead the Vice President. Listen, the Vice President, President Kamala Harris, I've said many times I think she was not a good candidate. I think she was qualified, though. I think her resume, I think Kamala Harris was qualified to be president based on her resume. Now, you may not like what she's done since she's been a politician, but if you look at her resume, it's pretty much a stair step towards reaching the Oval Office. She was a district attorney. Then she was an attorney general for the state of California. Then she became a U.S. senator for the state of California. Then she became a vice president for America. And then she ran for president. She literally has a stair step of, listen, so whether you like her or not, we can debate that, but she actually has the resume for somebody seeking the Oval Office. I just think her candidacy was poor. What happened to she's not a good candidate? Nothing happened to it, King Finn. I'm still saying it. There's a difference between being a good candidate and being a qualified candidate. And I say that because as a politician, your job is to sell yourself to the people. You can be a piece of shit, but a good salesman. You may know somebody like that. You could be a person who is just a piece of shit, don't have much on your resume, but because you're being elected by the people, you may be able to sell yourself and orate things that people want to hear to the point where they actually vote you in office. George Santos, the disgraced congressman in New York that Trump recently pardoned, another Trump pardon, perfect example of that. He was able to sell himself to his constituents, even though he was not qualified. So he was a good candidate. He was good enough to win, but he was not qualified. I think Kamala Harris was the reverse of George Santos. She was qualified, but she was not a good candidate. Hopefully that clears it up. Looking in the comments, the only thing Kamala Harris is good candidate for is portray Divine Brown in a biopic. Who is Divine Brown in a... Okay, I don't know what you mean by that, Super Michael. She can't even sit and have a full conversation without laughing and giggling like a moron. How is she qualified? Well, here's what I don't get. Okay, you see Kamala Harris laughing and things like that and giggling, so that makes her not... Trump can't sit down and have a conversation without blaming his predecessor, but that's okay. Look, if you want somebody to sit down, stay on topic, sell themselves and talk about the issues, then Kamala Harris, Trump ain't the guy either. Trump can't do that either. Trump can't sit down and have a decent conversation without rambling on and on about things that are unrelated to what he's talking about. He does that too. Just because he's not laughing doesn't make him any better at it. You sit Trump down and ask him about any issue in existence, and I guarantee you he's going to start talking about some shit that has nothing to do with what you asked him about. How is that any less egregious than somebody laughing at you? Trump will be remembered. His achievements will be appreciated. That's a bold statement to make, Brown. That's a bold. I'm going to tell you, I'm on the opposing side of what you're saying. He absolutely will be remembered. President Trump will be remembered probably more than any president in our lifetime. I think he will even supersede Reagan and Obama. He'll be remembered more than them, but it won't be for good stuff like you're suggesting. 2 impeachments, what happened on January 6th. I don't know about these boats in Venezuela or not. Letting out the red carpet for people like Vladimir Putin, first president to meet Kim Jong-un. I think he'll be remembered long after we're gone, but I don't know if those would be for good things. Now, things that he accomplished, let me know. Operation Warp Speed is a huge accomplishment of President Trump. However, he don't take credit for it because of how he rolled it out. Space Force is his accomplishment. We can talk about it. Tariffing every single country on the planet on one day, unless that turns out very positive for America, now you can add that to the achievements that will not be favorable to him. He'll be remembered, though. He'll absolutely be remembered. Let me go back to the bots. We'll continue on with Andy. Good evening, Andy. Welcome to the program. Will the corrupted history books remember him? No, but we know the truth. Well, there are people who would tell you they know the truth of why the Civil War got started or what the Confederates are all about. But fact is, once you die off, the actual truth of what the MAGA and Trump administration meant will live on. And you guys that are supporting it now will live on, will be there to resist and paint your picture. But as you die off, it'll just be the actual facts. Andy, good evening.
They'll remember him just like they did the other man at the Nuremberg trials.
You mean like Eichmann or somebody like that? Or you mean Adolf?
Yeah, I think he'll have his version of the Nuremberg trials.
You're right. You'll have people that will be supportive of President Trump from now to eternity, just like there are people who are supportive of Adolf, but they are in the minority.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Trump's legacy? What do you think Trump's legacy will be?
Destroying democracy.
You an attempt to destroy democracy?
He is doing just what his buddy Viktor Orban did. Y'all aren't paying attention. And the more he gets complete, executive power, the more damage he does.
But are you saying he'll be?
Look at this bullshit he's talking about now about remigration. So Stephen Miller can kick out people that don't look like him.
Well, he suggested that some of these folks.
And I don't know why. And I don't know why y'all still talking about Kamala 10 months later, running her name through the fucking mud when that fucker's an absolute disaster.
Saying that Kamala Harris was not. Wait, hold on. Let me talk to you. Okay, let me.
Only had 100 days to run her campaign, but yet Donald Trump is up here destroying democracy. We're unaliving people in boats committing war crimes, and you can't tell me that those people were guilty of trafficking, because why did we send 2 of them back home to Colombia?
Saying that Kamala Harris was not a good candidate is not running her through the mud, though.
But the fact that y'all are still talking about this 10 months later while he is destroying democracy is ridiculous.
Bro, it's a political atmosphere. We got to talk about people in politics.
Yeah, but she's not running. We're heading towards the midterms. She's not running. She's not serving. Like, why are y'all still dragging her? Because, see, it's the misogyny. Y'all just cannot let that shit go.
How is it misogyny?
She's living rent-free up in everybody's head. I'm so proud of her, though. Because she made her damn mark. And she will live in their heads rent-free so they can complain and whine about it. But it is their candidate currently that is committing war crimes, trying to remigrate people. And it was him that gave the asylum pass to the guy that did the pew-pewing. And if you want to know the truth, really look suspicious. Because his man goes out and the man he gave the asylum pass goes out and does that. And now all the people he wanted to get rid of, he's talking about remigration, got the country on board. Really fucking next level
Why do
seditious.
Why do you
Criminal.
believe this remigration thing? Why do you think MAGA? Because MAGA's on board with this. Why do you think MAGA sees this different than you?
Because they're racist. God, like, come on.
All of MAGA?
A good portion of them.
What? Just speculate.
Keisha, I
Just
think that-
speculating
Keisha,
here. Wait, hold on.
I
Just
think Jim's
speculate. Wait a
racist.
minute, Andy. Just speculating here. What percentage are you suggesting of MAGA are racist or intolerant or bigoted?
About a 70%.
Wow. 7 out of 10.
I live in Alabama. You forget. They say shit in front of me they would never say in front of you. Like, they forget because I'm pale that I ain't on their side, and they say some ignorant shit, and then I have to check them for it because they forget that I'm not on their side because, you know, they get comfortable in their paleness and rattle off some bullshit at the mouth.
Oddly enough, you said 70. I got a bunch of people in the comments, 85 and 90. Wow, that many people, huh? I talk to MAGA every day. You went on mute, Andy. You're on mute. I don't know what you did, but maybe she had a call.
I'm waiting on you to ask me a question.
No, I'm just shocked at that high
patient
percentage.
today.
I'm just shocked at that high percentage. So this whole thing, this whole soon-to-be scandal that's happening in the Caribbean off the coast of Venezuela, you believe these are war crimes?
Mm-hmm. Why do we keep sending back survivors? Why do we call them survivors? Wouldn't they be criminals if they were doing something wrong? Why do we call them survivors and put them on a boat back home to Colombia? Why didn't we let the news talk to them?
I don't disagree with that. That is hard to explain. If they're running drugs, why are you letting them go? MAGA Reacts tried to give me something. He said they're letting them go to scare the people or something like that. He gave a weird explanation for that.
That ain't scaring shit. That's saying if you live through it, you can go home. That ain't no. Look, I feel sorry for MAGA Reacts. I do. Like, bless his little heart. He ain't got much to work with up there. I guess he's doing the best he can. Who knows?
I thought it sounded weird too, and I pointed it out.
I really find it very comical, though, that Donald Trump thinks we're all so fucking stupid that he can just play in everybody's faces all the time. You can fool some of the people, you can fool all the people some of the time. You can fool some of the people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time.
He's very
You ain't never heard that?
Yeah, but he's very successful, Andy. I think the guy is willing and dealing in life the way he's always done it.
Wait, I heard you say Joe Biden had low approval ratings, and not like that, Tim.
They
Not
were
like that.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Lowest
You're
approval
right. You're
ratings
right.
in history, and on top of that, he broke the lowest person's, which was his, and got even lower. So, like, you can't compare the two. That's not even that's fucking hilarious.
No,
I
well,
was like, yeah, because those two numbers match, right?
well, Joe Biden had the lowest approval ratings. Other than if you take Trump out of the picture, it had been a while since we've seen
Had to take
numbers.
Trump out of the picture twice.
Yeah.
Because it was his own record he broke. Like, nobody's like, okay, so the guy that he lost to got it. Like, that don't even make sense when you say it that way, Tim. He had the lowest to approval ratings of any president.
Well, you can't exactly say I hate all Democrats and maintain anything positive. I mean, you say something like that, there's 50% of the country gone right there.
I didn't say
Huh?
Well, he did say he hated all Democrats.
Right. So he'll
He's on his own.
He'll never have positive poll numbers. When you say I hate half of the country,
Can you imagine? Wait, let's go back. Can you imagine if Obama had said that about Republicans?
well, they bring up they clean
This
it up.
country would be on fire.
Well,
This whole damn country would be on fire. They would have lost their ever-loving collective minds and torched this place up. You can't convince me any different.
Well, you did have Hillary Clinton calling them deplorables. Obama said they cleaned their Bibles and guns, and Biden used the term garbage. So they do have a little bit of defense. Not close to I hate all Democrats, though.
Well, hold on. And Donald Trump called us the blood of the enemy of the country. Like, let's comparatively speaking, no, Tim, just no. Donald Trump has done so much worse, so many more times that literally, like, and let's look, they're like, well, we accepted Joe Biden. No, you didn't. You sang Let's Go Brandon for 4 fucking years and acted like children. Now that you've won, it's hard to believe it, but y'all are being even bigger children. which is crazy to me. Like, y'all are acting like the most like sore winners that have ever existed.
I've never heard
in
that
human
term
history.
before. I've never heard of a sore winner. But I will tell you this. It shouldn't
Well,
surprise
look
you.
around you.
What do you mean?
Do you see them happy about anything? No.
Yeah, they
They're so
are.
fucking miserable.
No,
They
that's
complain-
not true. They're
No,
happy
they come on
about.
this app.
No, that's not true.
What?
They're happy about military being in liberal cities, ICE. Every time you see somebody getting deported and
But
crying,
it's
this
not
is what
enough
we
to make them
voted for.
happy. Look at all the negative comments they still write. Look at all the bitching they still come on. Like, and they go to liberal lives intentionally and say stupid shit like, "Why can't we all be friends?" I'm sorry. Lack of, a difference of opinion, we can still be friends. A lack of humanity is where you lose me, and we can't be friends. Like, if you ain't got any respect for human rights and dignity, we can't be friends.
You get MAGA
I'm not-
saying, you get MAGA. That don't even sound like MAGA speak. You get MAGA saying, why can't we all be friends? They don't even talk like that.
They do. They want us to like Donald Trump. They cannot stand the fact that we don't. If we were just like Donald Trump, they would quit hating Democrats. Like, they would embrace us with open arms if we would just say Donald Trump did one good thing. Apparently, they obviously need our approval.
But then I got to ask you then.
Think about it.
But then I got to ask you, you said
Think
that.
about it.
I am thinking about
just
it.
go, oh, that's just a Democrat's opinion, and move forward. They can't.
But you
It's
just
not in
stated,
their purview.
you just stated that they would like Democrats if Democrats would just say Trump did one thing, which leads me to ask you, because they talk about Trump derangement syndrome. Why won't the Democrats say Trump did one thing good? You're telling me he didn't do anything good at
I
all?
gave him credit for the First Step Act. I gave him credit for the cruelty against animals. To them, that's not enough.
Because
They
they're-
want it all. They want the whole enchilada, or they don't want anything. They're petulant, spoiled, rotten children.
okay. But you do admit that Trump has done some good things for America then.
Yeah, but they're so minute compared to the shit he's done wrong. Like, I've never seen a country in history, a country that's never fallen this deep into fascism and been able to dig itself out in one generation.
So
It hadn't happened.
you think it's irreversible at this point?
I don't think it's irreversible. I just don't think we'll do it in our lifetime.
And Hanson Conservative says you couldn't just say yes. so but you did admit Trump has done some good things.
Look at the lack. Wait. Here's a great example. Look at the lack of originality. He had to take your name and add conservative to it, because
I don't know.
You know, right? No, like, you think the handsome conservative existed before you? No, you know for a fact they didn't.
I don't
So let's
know.
just be
I
honest.
don't know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I know how long you've been on this app. You cannot tell me different. I've been on here with Republicans. I've been on here with you. He's new. That's like in the last year kind of thing. You've been on here for multiple years. You cannot tell me that was a spark of originality. It wasn't. It was the same lame shit they always do. Copy the Democrats, but they always do it wrong and fuck shit up. That's the problem.
I'm pleading the fifth. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Oh my God. So he's done a couple
But we
things.
all know. Don't get me wrong. We all know. The comments know. Like, they were cracking up laughing. She's right. See, they all know.
I don't know. I'm pleading the fifth. Let me ask you this. Okay, we've had an Afghan travel all the way across the damn country to attempt to take the lives of National Guardsmen and women, and successfully did. At least one of them, at least, was dead. And now,
It really benefited Donald Trump, didn't it?
how?
Who did it benefit the most? Because he gets to take the action he wants to take.
So you're saying that Trump?
So who
is,
did that benefit the most?
well, I'm trying to clear this up. You're saying that Trump is using their deaths to somehow promote an agenda?
100%. He didn't care about the National Guard. If he cared about the National Guard, Tim, he would have paid them for 30 days and not 29 days and gave them their fucking bonus and not had them out there picking up trash and using them for optics when he didn't really need them, because we all know that crime went down 30% organically in D.C. all by itself. And I'm not 100% saying that for real that I believe this, but it has benefited Donald Trump so much that I just wonder if that wasn't the plan all along.
Mm. In the comments, I guess somebody's saying that y'all, what is it? I hope she can see these comments. Hey, caller, what are you saying? I wouldn't copy her just to get it wrong. A lot of folks are calling you stupid. I don't.
Nobody gives a shit about you, dude.
Yeah, because I'm not. You
Tell
said
them I could care less.
this woman ate a bowl of stupid this morning. I don't know. I think you're. I don't see what you're saying is stupid. I mean, people disagree with you. Robert said, "My God, she is sick."
Wait, let's look at the damn insult on its face. A 5-year-old makes that insult. That's why I'm not insulted. The brain power it took to make that insult. Please, when he gets out of the 5th grade, call me back and maybe I'll listen.
So shutting down America to Afghans and kicking out the ones that are here, you're thinking it's part of Trump's agenda, but does it make America safe?
I don't think so. I think it's part of his Make America White Again program. Because Muslims commit the least amount of crime in this country. The absolute least.
I thought it was Asians.
You break it down. Like we break this down all the time. Muslims commit the least amount of crime. So you can't tell me that kicking them out is going to make the country safer.
I thought it was
It's
Asians.
just not.
I thought it was Asians that commit the least amount of crimes.
I thought it was Muslims. I broke it down by religion.
It could be. Well, yeah, because Muslims.
I didn't see an
Yeah, it
Asian
could be.
religion
It
up there.
could
I
be.
saw,
I mean, so what are you saying? You're comparing them to Baptist and Catholic and Lutheran to see who commit the most crimes?
Yep.
Well, people.
Guess what? Christians are number one. They're number one because Christians like y'all go and take each other's churches out. Like, let's be real.
Yeah. Well, let's also be clear. Christians represent the large majority of the people in the country. Like 70% of Americans are Christian.
Not even 50% are Christian. Do you not remember the speech Mike Johnson gave? Mike Johnson, that was part of his problem with America.
Well, I don't think Mike Johnson is getting that one right. I think most Americans by far are Christian. I mean, may not, like myself, I'm not very religious, but I do consider myself to be closer to being a Christian than an atheist, even though I'm starting to go in that direction. But, look, most of us are brought up Christian. Somebody said, "Oh, you can tell she never read the Qurans." It's good. Okay, what do you say? She never read the Quran. Andy, have you ever read the Quran? That's what Hanson Casaro. She dropped out. I don't know what happened, but Andy may have had a call. We'll move on with the program. Tap the screen. Get us on up to 100,000, 110 rather. Andy's a pretty educated. I enjoy talking to Andy. Andy, she comes with her shit. I know my MAGA side does not like hearing from her, but I like hearing from Andy. Andy's always welcome on the program. Looking in the comments, just because he said it is right, that was a horrible reference. Just because he said it, it's right. Oh, no. Just because somebody says something, no, it's not always right. She's right. Since when has Donald Trump and any millionaire fit through the needle of God to get into heaven? Whoa, interesting. I don't agree with a lot that she said, but I don't think she's dumb. She's not stupid to me. She sounds like she's just angry and pissed off, sick of politicians. I think a lot of Americans are that way. I'm holding all my judgments for everything until I see all of the Epstein files. Then I'll see whose side I'm on. You know something, in regards to the Epstein stuff, we've had a number of shows on that, and I'm sure we'll have shows on the Epstein files in the future. Do you really need to see them all at this point? Certainly if you're looking at President Trump, do you really need to see? I mean, he's put up so much resistance to releasing the files that even if he's not in the files at all, you still gotta hold him accountable for protecting other folks that are. I mean, not to mention the whole campaign promise is being broken as well, because he led everybody to believe that he would be more transparent than the Biden administration. Get rid of Biden, and under me, you'll get transparency and you'll get to see what's in the files. And then he got in there and he's been everything but transparent on the files. So do you really need to see what's in it? I mean, just the behavior alone, the amount of resistance alone should be bad enough, because we know even if Trump is not in the files whatsoever, we know other pedos are. And by him being resistant, he's protecting pedos. And of course, we got to bring up Ghislaine Maxwell. There's no legitimate reason for why she was moved from maximum security to minimum security. If that happened under Biden or Obama or some other liberal, the right would go ape shit. The same way they go when somebody gets a slap on the wrist for committing a crime. I mean, this woman is a serial pedo, and you gave her pretty much a camp. She actually has a dog. She has a pet in jail. We complain about people having cell phones, and she got all of that stuff. She got all of that stuff. And she's one of the worst of, in terms of criminals, she's considered one of the worst among them. Other than probably killing somebody, it's the next worst crime. And she's been put in minimum security by the Trump administration. And MAGA is like, well, maybe he did it because of this, or maybe he be done. You don't even need to explain why he did it. They're not even questioning it. That's horrible. That's horrible. So in regards to the Epstein files, I'm at the point of I don't even need to know what's in him. He's done enough egregious shit that he should be considered a problem on that. You're like, why would you give her minimum security? And also, by the way, he was asked, would he pardon Ghislaine Maxwell? And his response was, I could. I haven't thought of it, but I could. Why wouldn't the answer be fucking no? She's a serial pedo. Hell no, I'm not going to let her out. Why wouldn't that be the answer? So I don't think at this point you need to see what's in the files. What he's done so far is pretty fucking egregious. I mean, it's cost Marjorie Taylor Greene her job for speaking out against it. So even if you speak out against it, he'd rather axe you. When I say axe, I don't mean A-S-K, I mean A-X-E. He would rather axe you than actually let you know what's in the files. He'd rather chop you off than actually let you know what's in the files. How much more do you need to know? You don't want this shit to be public. Anyway, looking in the comments, needs to be investigated. It would be investigated if he would just let people get their hands on the files. Going back to the box, we'll go to the one and only Gangsta Grandma. Good evening, Gangsta. Welcome to the program.
Always on your knees for the white man, Timmy Tim Tim. Always, aren't you? You little ugly ass pookie. I swear to God, you always trying to get that motherfucker the benefit of the doubt. That motherfucker's a racist ass bitch. And both those motherfuckers need to be underneath the damn jail. But unfortunately, they're white and they won't be.
Underneath the jail for what?
For unaliving them.
You mean the Venezuela stuff?
Yes. And then, on top of everything else, the motherfucker wants to do a kingpin. Wants to pardon the damn motherfucker that did some of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
They don't like you at all, do they?
I didn't do nothing. No.
I know.
Oh, little cookie.
They don't like you at all.
The white king man never does like my black ass. Why? Because I call the asses out. So I'm not like you. You know, Timmy Tim Tim, I'm not on my knees for the white man. They hate me, though. Oh, boy, do they hate me. You just see in my inbox. I'll give you some of this white sausage. Fuck no.
Did somebody inbox you? Wait.
No.
Did somebody put that in your inbox? They were to offer you.
Yes, they did. I said, fuck no. I don't want no salmonella. Fuck that. Gross.
Well, I mean,
no offense to my allies. They're in the comments, but no, fuck that. No, right? I seen a white tea ding-a-ling. It's all like, you need to cook it or something. That's just so nasty. Golly, it's like it's pink meat, for God's sake. Who does pink meat? It's not cooked. Oh, God, that just gives me the PGVs.
Why you in this pink meat shit? Look.
It is pink, Tim. I promise you it's pink. I seen chocolate ding-a-ling. I love me some chocolate. At least it's not pink and uncooked. These motherfuckers are pink, uncooked. God forsaken, their head is pink. Like, who does that?
I don't know.
And then the motherfuckers in my inbox say, I'm going to give it to you. I said, no, you ain't. I'm a lesbian. I'm a straight fucking lesbian. And then he said, well, I'll get you some white. No, I'm a chocolate lesbian.
I don't even know where to go with this shit.
I'm telling you, Tim, I got some shit up in my inbox that I tell you, I will promise you, I'll have motherfuckers laid the fuck out.
Well,
these damn maggots, they just thirsty, and they ain't getting this chocolate nothing, because, honey, I ain't that damn desperate. I have my toy before anything.
Well, Super Michael on YouTube says she ain't black, she's delusional. Are you
Well, you know what?
are you having
Fuck
racial
that.
issues?
They always got something. Because I'm light skinned, I'm not black. Motherfucker, if you go to Africa, I swear to God, you think they white as hell and they black with blue eyes and everything. It's called the Shanti tribe. And you go to New Orleans, they're called Creoles. I shit you not, you think they white as hell and they black. Get the fuck out of here. You motherfuckers are so stupid. You think everybody that's light skinned has to be a white person. You got me fucked up.
Well,
I don't burn.
Well, Shannon in the comments, Shannon says they don't hate you. She's saying that black fatigue is real. So it ain't you, it's just us
Well, white
African.
fatigue is fucking real. What the fuck are you talking about? I shit you not. We got YT pupering every fucking damn day. We got 2 motherfuckers in office that's unaliving fucking people. No, YT fatigue is fucking real. You just don't like our black asses because we know how to season our food. We know how to do our men right. We know how to do our children. Our children's not pupering up our damn schools. We have black excellence in our fucking homes. You motherfuckers can't say that at all. All you got motherfuckers can say, who's my baby mama? And that could be my cousin.
Now you said you know how to season our meat. Now Thanksgiving just passed a couple of days ago. Are you suggesting that having Thanksgiving dinner around some people featured unseasoned food?
Hell yeah, have you seen the damn people be cooking the damn turkey and it looks white as fucking hell and they say it's fucking done? Have you seen those? Oh hell no, I'm good.
I
don't go to everybody's kitchen, honey. My shit's cooked. My shit is fire. Unlike some of the people out there.
I gotta disagree with you. I think they can season
I
food.
know you're gonna disagree because you be fucking a white woman so damn much. You call fluffy snow bunnies and you insulting a damn snow bunny. For God's sake, can you call them something else? Because a snow bunny is fluffy and cute. For God's sake, they're not fluffy and they're not fucking cute.
Wait a minute. What's wrong with a snow bunny?
Have you seen the snow bunnies? I get snow bunnies at my house all the time in the wintertime, and they blend right into the snow. No, they're not them. They don't blend into the snow. You can see the pink asses.
I mean,
they're pink. They're not white like a snow bunny.
I've seen a
They're
few.
pink.
I've seen a few snow bunnies. From what I've been.
I seen the animal snow bunny is fire. They cute as shit. You insulting the snow bunny.
Well, I've heard they're good eating.
I don't do that. I cannot kill a snow bunny because I like me a fifi and a foo-foo, okay? I can't do that.
Okay, I don't see nothing wrong with the snow bunny. Somebody in the comments
I
says,
bet you don't. I bet you don't because you be talking mad shit about black women. But I bet you anything if a fucking white woman come up in here and show her coochie, your dick will get fucking hard. I guarantee you that though, because you fucking traitor ass.
Let me make something clear. Why the hell do you keep suggesting that I talk about black women? That is not true.
You do. You always be knocking Miss Harris down. What the fuck are you talking about? You do. You always say, well, she's not a good candidate, and she's a black woman. Yes, I come for your ugly black.
Well, I was told that she's actually Indian and Jamaican, so this is not a black woman. From what I hear, she didn't even go as black.
No, your black ass did not go there with me. Not tonight. When I'm drinking and I'm fucking high as shit. I know your ugly, fat, fucking, bald-headed ass did not go there and say, oh, she's Jamaican, she's not black, or she's Indian. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking that? Can I go through the goddamn phone and smack the fuck out your ass?
Why you gotta be so?
Down for DV. I got money to get my ass out.
Why you gotta be so violent? No, I was told that she was Indian and Jamaican. She wasn't black.
She's black, Dodo.
Oh my God.
She's black. I can't say about your ugly ass. You be drinking too much damn bleach.
What color do you think I am? God damn it.
You're white. You're white. I shit you not. You're sucking on that white man uncooked protein. All the. That's what you be doing.
What are you sound what is you from Rudum to the Tootum, huh? You sound like the lady.
Yes.
What is the comedian?
You like the whips and every damn thing else. You a house ninja. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it. You an undercover house ninja. You like it all with the white man and the damn what is it called? What is it called? Your AKA wannabe snow bunnies. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I see you got one of my viewers saying, Jesus Christ, these people actually vote. Okay.
Yeah, and if I was a president, the maggots would be getting deported.
Okay. First of all, I resent the House Ninja comment. That's hurtful. That is hurtful.
Okay. What, you want a cookie? I got a chocolate chip, but you like the sugar cookie, huh? The white one? I'll give you a sugar cookie.
All
You want
praise.
you want it?
Handsome.
You
Hold
want
on.
one? I'll give it to you, Boogie.
Sticky fingers. I appreciate you pointing that. All praises to John Witherspoon. That's who I was talking about from the root of
That
the
was
tutor.
so hurtful.
You said so. That is what you were trying to say.
These for the white man, then.
Handsome sticky
You don't
fingers.
want to
Yes.
become a house ninja? Get off your ugly ass off the white man and push the fuck back. Get some more kahunas. Then I might give you some little bit of grace. Till then, your black ass is a house ninja undercover.
I am.
Whip. Okay. That's what you do. Like, you know what I mean?
Would you stop doing that? Would you stop doing that?
No, it's the truth, Tim. Daddy, you got me fucked up. I'm over here sipping on some drink. I'm honest to God depressed as hell because I'm gonna lose my damn best friend. So I'm sipping and getting high, just thinking that I had to come on your ugly pookie ass, and you over here sipping for the white man so hard. And you know they'll put you in a fucking damn tree. You know this, Tim. And you don't, see, this is why I don't give these motherfuckers grace. I don't. Because they didn't give us grace when they went to the polls to vote this motherfucker in. And now
Why the hell would they give us grace? They thought Kamala Harris was going to destroy the country. They're going to have men and women's sports.
to destroy the country?
That's what they believe.
My God. My God. Are you serious? A black woman's going to destroy this country? The white man is. See? How you doing it? See?
Would you fucking stop it? Would you stop doing that?
You over here thinking this white man's going to save us?
Would you
Are
stop
you
that?
serious, Tim? A black woman wanted to give people money to get their first fucking homes. She was going to build more homes, man. More fucking homes for anybody to come up in and get them.
Okay.
Damn, she wanted to give shit to the white man, you dumb fucks.
Well, Trump was going
But no, you didn't give her none. You didn't give her no goddamn grace. So fuck you. Fuck anything else you. I ain't giving you none of y'all motherfuckers grace. Especially Tim with his looking ass.
Okay, here's a comment. You need to stop that shit. Jeremy Davis says the problem is liberals have too much hatred for the other side based on lies and misinterpretations of what we stand for. So maybe you're just misunderstanding what the right is about.
I ain't misunderstanding with the white hoods. I ain't misunderstanding when they call us ninjas. I ain't misunderstanding telling us, oh, we got black fucking fatigue when it's actually white fucking damn fatigue. You know what I mean? Like, damn. Tell me when a black kid goes into schools and pew-pewing up our damn schools. Tell me when a black kid goes into a church and does pew-pewing up. Tell me when a black kid does any of that kind of shit. I'll wait.
Well, black kids go.
Come on, Timmy. Come on, Timmy. I know you want to hit me so bad, but you're not going to. I'll choke you the fuck out.
You're my favorite snow bunny. You know that. Listen.
No, I'm not no damn. You call me a snow bunny. I'm a chocolate bunny. Shit, at least I know people's mouths.
Listen.
I don't burn out in the fucking sun. You know what I mean? And I don't have a dang leggy that is pink and raw, uncooked. I tell you, those damn little sausages. What's those little sausages in the can? What they call it? Vienna sausage? Do
you got any issue with what if a black person was born albino? Would you hate on them too because they're pink?
No, they're beautiful. I love me all albino. I love me all my chocolate.
And they look the same as a white person.
To dark skin, to all of the in-between skins. Yeah, a lot, but they dicks don't look like a fuck. I tell you, like a Vienna fucking, I'm telling you. Tim, why don't you go to the corn site and see?
I got an
Tim?
excellent question for you coming from.
I bet you do.
This is coming from Diane. She says, will her children be able to get along with all people?
My kids are pro-black. My kids do not like maggots.
So the answer is no.
My kids do get along with the uncooked meat that is good. You know what I mean?
Uncooked meat. So the answer to Diane's question is no.
I'm fucking around with my allies. But yes, the allies, they get along with it. They don't like the maggots. My kids are pro-black. They love their skin. They love that they love their history. They love everything about them. They love everything. They smell good and everything. Unlike some maggots.
Yeah, that's
Their kids don't. They got snotty ass noses, can't comb your fucking hair, and every damn thing else.
That's racist.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
It's
is.
the truth. I seen it today. I went into a store today, and I seen this white woman with kids snot going down their mouth. No. I wish my kid. I wish I would did that to my kids. See, black households. You know, everybody talks mad shit about us our black households, but we put our kids on our check. Okay, we put them in we put them in check. They know when to. They know everything from black households. They get the asses whooping every damn thing else. But you know what? Then they're not over here peeping up our damn schools and stuff.
I'm going to give this to you. This is, thank you, Monicola. Appreciate that. Help your boy get that TikTok crown goal. You guys help to support the program. We're close, so thank you for helping me get
you got great kids. Yeah, peeping up all down schools.
This is a strong one. This is a strong one. This is aimed at you, Gangsta Grandma. This comment is coming from Matt Tilly. Says this biatch is a joke. How can you try to support your opposition acting like a clown? You're just starting on your own party.
Your mama is my bitch. Okay, you should have told her that last night.
Okay, well. Since you're just shitting on your own party, not supporting it.
Whose party? I'm not shitting on Democrats. I'm shitting on a white man. I'm shitting on the two people that's behind, that's in the war crimes. I'm praying gets their day. But I doubt it because they're white tea. And people are leaving. People, you know what's crazy? These motherfuckers don't think that why other Congress people are leaving. Two down already. And they even said more is coming. More is coming. You know, boo-hoo, yeah. Go get you a paper towel, bitch.
I'm under the
impression. You know what? Let me tell you. This is why I come straight hard on these fucking maggots. This is why I come straight hard. They always come for us black folks. They always come for black women and talking about their kids and stuff. But they don't even look at them in their own damn homes. They're the kids that commit unalivings. They're the kids that do their own damn selves off because they can't take their shit no more. It's them. It's the white tea maggots doing it because your own kids don't even like you, so they unalive their asses, and that's disgusting. You should feel sorry for your asses.
You're saying children of Trump supporters, the children don't like their own parents.
Why do you think a lot of them unalive themselves? Or they leave. They leave and they never come back. And you know what's the most saddest about these white tea people? They want to dismember the education system to still make your kids dumb. They don't want the kids to go to college. They don't want the kids to do anything. They even say that nurses and shit are not professional because they don't want their kids to do that, so they can open their fucking eyes and know what reality really is. That the maggots are the triple Ks. They don't want them to be liberal or whatever. Well, even they can be Republican and go to school.
Well, when you say they don't want your kids to go to college, they are promoting your kids getting a trade. They're saying college is expensive. Oftentimes the degrees are not worth it.
No, they don't want them to. They didn't want what? They can't be a doctor with a trade, dumbass.
You're telling me that
they have to go to college.
You're telling me
they
you
have
believe
to go to college to be a nurse.
You believe
no, they want them to do blue collar shit to be dumb. That's what they want. They do never want the kids to be.
So you believe that MAGA is trying to dumb down America.
Yeah, they want their kids to be dumb. Not this black household. My kids are black excellence. Black excellence. That's why they don't like me, because I say my kids are black excellence. They say they don't like me because my grandbabies are black excellence. My god babies will be black excellence. They are black excellence.
Barry says, please get someone on with an IQ. Gangsta Grandma not being honest. Why R's? Why N's be going wild? This is coming from Big Shit. He says, you not being honest. He said, why N's be wilding out? What say you?
They do be wilding out. The YNs do. They be peeping up everything. Well, you know what I mean? Like, come on. People really got to be stupid not to see the shit. They're always blaming black on black crime and shit. When we do black on black, we know why we're doing it. We're not going there and doing everything to a church and shit. Is it bad? Yes, we shouldn't be doing it. But we have to do what is doing it. It is poverty and stuff. They want black people to stay in the hood. They never want for black people to get out the hood. They never do. They always want to bash things. Why do you think they took DEI away? Why didn't they think that we're woke? I'm proud to be fucking woke because I want to see the racism coming.
Fair enough, Gangsta Grandma. I do got to move it on. You don't.
Hey, Tim, can you at least do this to a black woman? Do that to a black woman too, Tim.
Get the fuck out of here with that. I am going to be hearing that shit in my sleep now. I got to go. Do not do that. Shout out to John Witherspoon from the Rootum to the Tootum. I'm going to think of that every time. Gangsta Grandma is crazy. Crazy. Tap the screen. Get your likes up to 120,000. Oh my Lord, that was rough. I've never seen so many laughing emojis in my life from that. Looking in the comments, 9 out of 10 poorest states are Republican. That is true. That is very true. Here's to not hearing her voice anymore. It says, well, I'm probably going to lose you as a supporter when I say this, but Gangsta Grandma is a friend of the program, just like MAGA Reacts and some of the folks on the right. We don't block, ban, or censor people for their commentary. If we have MAGA on the program, and they are just as critical of liberals as my last guest was of MAGA, they get to speak too. That's what free speech in an uncensored format is all about. So understand that. We're not here to block, ban, and censor people, even if you don't agree with them. We don't do that here. And I will say this, I do appreciate all you folks tuning in. I love the support. By the way, those folks who are getting me really close to the TikTok crown goal, thank you for your support. We're only 2 away. Help your boy out. But I will say that even though I appreciate all you guys supporting the program, if you want a program that is always bashing Trump or always celebrating Trump, this ain't it. This is not it. We're going to tackle comments coming in from all sides of the house. So you're going to hear stuff from all sides of the house. There are plenty of places you can go on social media where everybody loves Trump or everybody hates him. This ain't that. This is where everybody gets to talk. Anyway, looking in the comments, back in the early 1900s, Indians were considered white in the USA. Were they? I've never heard that before. I can't remember the reason why, but they used it for a specific thing to be allowed or do it or whatever. Maybe for consensus reasons. They had blacks listed as 3/5 of a human being. So if they were viewing Native Americans as white, it was for some sinister purpose. It was certainly not to give the Native Americans equality. It was for doing it for some reason on paper to play some kind of switcheroo. I have never heard that before, by the way. I've never heard that. But if it wasn't being done in the best interest of the Native Americans. We've been horrible to the Native Americans since we came here, period. Looking in the comments, that's why I'm here, because you try to be fair. Thank you, Woozy One. We do. I do respect the fuck out of you for that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Some of you folks, Gangsta Grandma hates maggots and Trump. That's why I love her, says Kevin. Well, Trump says he hates Gangsta Grandma and Democrats. He just doesn't say Gangsta Grandma, but we know. We can read in between the lines. He don't like Gangsta Grandma. Tap the screen, get us up to 120. We'll take the next caller. Looking in the comments, we'll continue on with I don't know what am I seeing here, but Donna Bamba, good evening. Welcome to the program. You don't have to hate your opposition. Don't have to go full-blown liberal either. Yep, our ancestors were not good to the natives. Well, President Trump is on record saying I hate Democrats. So he disagrees with you. He does hate his opposition. I don't know what happened to my last caller, but we'll continue on. And somebody said they were tapping at a party. We'll go to, thank you, Tamar. Thank you very much for that. We'll go to King Finn. Good evening, King. Welcome to the program. Are we having issues with bringing guests up? Because it's starting to not bring up folks. We tried to bring up Takesha. We'll try that. If that doesn't work, something's wrong. There we go. Takesha, good evening.
Hey, Tim.
Hey. So,
ooh, that was a good lesson you just got, man.
So you're going to be easy on me then. So you're going to be easy on me.
That was so funny to me, man. I couldn't stop laughing, Tim.
I guess the grandma is. I think she's showing up. She must be at the Improv or something. She's getting better. Let me ask you this though. You have you heard that apparently one of the vessels, the very first boat off the coast of Venezuela, was blown up. The individuals survived and were in the water, floating around in open sea.
Them folks was hanging on, and Hegseth told him to just take them on out.
Is that a war crime in your eyes?
That's murder.
Why do you think he would do that?
Because he's a murderer.
No, I mean that's strong language. I mean
exactly what I say.
I get that, but what else has he done to make you suggest that the man is a murderer?
You out there blowing up boats, you don't know what's on them. You just having a good time taking people out. That's just like a person, Tim, that becomes a serial killer. Once they kill one person, that adrenaline get in them, and it leads them to go do others. So once he blew up that first boat, told him to strike them folks, he got that adrenaline on him. So now anytime he want to just take out somebody, he just go get a boat.
Okay, so you see Hegseth as some type of murderer. What about Trump? Do you think you think Trump would condone it?
Yes.
You think Trump's a murderer too?
I do.
I thought these.
You know what I don't put past Donald Trump.
What?
Nothing.
Murdering people, Takesha?
I do. I think he will.
Okay, Rebecca says he's simply protecting our country. What say you?
Rebecca's a liar.
I don't even know Rebecca. She said look, the guy has promised from day one to make America great again. You okay with that?
I got a cough, Tim, from when I had COVID. I got long COVID. But listen, Tim.
I didn't know that.
Let me say this. Anytime you blow up a boat, 2 people survive, instead of bringing them in to charge them, because you said they bringing drugs in, you let them go back to their country. And now you're saying you're going to pardon a man who trafficked 40 tons of cocaine to the United States.
Why the hell is that? That makes, I'm just hearing about this. I didn't know about this before the program broke, but why would he pardon
He put it in a Truth Social.
That's
probably why you didn't hear about it.
I'm wondering why, in the middle of you claiming to be involved in a drug war, you would pardon a cartel member. Why do you think he would do that?
He's not in a drug war, Tim.
So what's going on?
That's not why he blowing those boats up.
Why do you believe he's blowing the boats up? Don P in the comments, shout out to you. Why do you believe he's blowing these boats up then?
He want them folks resources, Tim. He want to change the regime and get what they got. Plain and simple.
So this is a heist.
There you go. There you go. Tim, they don't know what's on them boats. Them folks out there fishing. They so far from us. Why you bothering them folks?
John Jones in the comments says that what Trump is doing is stopping your flow of drugs from coming into America.
Who is your flow?
He said your flow. In other words, indicating that you are a user of illicit drugs and you're angry that your drug supply is being blown up in the middle of the Caribbean.
You know what, Tim? If I was feeling my best, I'd cuss that bitch out.
This is a man. His name is John.
I ain't on no motherfucking drugs. And if I was on drugs, it damn sure wouldn't be no fentanyl. I would be getting high off of weed. I don't do drugs. Maybe you do drugs. Maybe he's stopping your Viagra from flowing over. Maybe they bringing over your Viagra because you so small that maybe they stopping bringing over Band-Aids because you have to wear one from the front to the back because that's the only thing to hold that little bit of penis up. Because if you put some drawers on, it's gonna be very hurtful to you. You can't even wear regular underwear because you ain't got nothing down there. You sit down to piss. That's just how little you are. If you stand up and pee, you're going to pee on the crease of your thigh. How about that?
You ladies are horrible. You ain't the one
to... When you jack off, you have to use a clothespin because you got to grab it because your hand's too big. You got to take a clothespin and jack yourself off.
You ladies are not the one to be fucked with. I can see that now.
Yeah, I'm not waiting. I'm not on drugs. You are, sir.
A clothespin. What?
Now, anyway, Tim, back to our conversation.
A clothespin would be painful.
It's so little, Tim. He got to find something to grab it with. No, well, look, tweezers.
Okay, I think I'm trapped in an episode. I'm trapped in an episode of South Park here, but all right, fair enough. Okay, I don't know what to do with that. So President Trump and Hegseth, you believe, are committing war crimes. You think they'll ever be brought? You think they'll ever be brought to justice?
And the reason I said it, Tim, why would you send people back that you said were on the way to bring drugs, Tim? Why you let them go back?
I don't have an answer for that. And I will admit,
you send them back to bring some more?
That's a good point. Because if you do release them, they could potentially be on the next boat or a next shipment coming back over. I don't have a good answer for why you would do that.
Tim, to be honest, I don't believe nothing that's coming out of this administration. Just like Trump keep getting up there telling that the economy is doing great, but you don't even want to release the jobs report. If you had something to brag on, wouldn't you put that on out there, Tim?
Do you think the man is doing anything right by America?
No.
Oh, come on.
Have you seen him do anything right?
Yeah, he's done a few things right.
What he did?
Protecting our border.
Tim, I'm so sick of you with that same damn if you can't move past them same 2 points you say every time, that means he ain't doing a damn thing.
But
you
is it
about the border.
a good thing?
Tim. Hold on. That's just like a woman saying, well, Tim got better in bed. Okay, at the beginning, Tim, you were doing one stroke.
I'm afraid to drink around you because I would spit my shit out.
Better in bed. Well, how many strokes he doing that one?
Oh,
well, how is he better? He's still on that one stroke.
Well, first of all,
move from the border, Tim.
First of all, there is no such thing as a man that only goes one stroke. So let's be clear. That's a myth.
You ain't got but one stroke in you, Tim.
There's no such thing, Keisha.
One stroke, Tim.
Oh my God. The bitches be crazy today. Look.
I wanted to say something to you for real though, Tim. What? You made a statement that I didn't agree with. When Gangsta Grandma said that MAGA was it was either Gangsta Grandma. No, it was my friend before Gangsta Grandma. When you said that, do you think that it was Gangsta Grandma. When
you all right over there?
You said, do you think that all of MAGA are racist?
She said 70%.
You said I talk to MAGA every day.
I do.
Do you think a racist won't talk to you and still be racist?
Some do, some will, yeah.
Okay, don't make that statement no more because it made you like a big pig head fool. Don't say that no more, Tim. Don't do that no more, Tim. Don't do that.
Okay. I talked to Marguerite. Marguerite is not racist.
It's already enough that you got Kamala derangement syndrome.
What the hell is that?
Every show you bring up Kamala. Every show. You just like Trump with Joe Biden. That man can't even recover from cancer. Trump, let me say this. Who gives a Thanksgiving, supposed happy Thanksgiving message the day after Thanksgiving?
Okay, I don't...
Trump thought it was Thanksgiving Friday.
Well,
but they want to talk about Sleepy Joe. But Trump up at 12 a.m. on a Friday, telling me happy Thanksgiving to the American people. Come on, Tim.
Maybe it was a message that was in his buffer and he just sent it out. He had already typed it up.
The next day, stop it.
I mean, it's possible. I mean,
didn't nobody give Trump. Look, Trump had dinner earlier that day and forgot. So he decided at 12 a.m. he thought it was Thanksgiving. He gonna make the whole post. Then you gonna get on there talking about folks. You know what? You got to be a miserable person to get up negative every day. Every day you're negative. You are a miserable person.
I disagree, and I'll tell you why. I think Trump is doing what sells for his constituency. Negativity sells. And by the way, I don't have derangement syndrome on this woman at all. I speak of her
yes, you do. You keep putting that lady picture up. You always bring it up. You got Kamala derangement syndrome.
There's no such thing, by the way. She was really nice to me. When I met her, she took a picture with me. I forgot the other. It was a Hollywood star that was with her. And
hold on, Tim. Dano Speaks. Dano speaks.
Appreciate those discos.
I have asthma. I'm not gonna run for the president. I'm not gonna even run for the border. Baby, I can't even run to the mailbox. I can have all the answers I want. That don't mean I want to be the president. You probably think you got all the answers because I've been seeing you talking all day in the comments.
Ooh.
Now, why are you bothering me about what I got to say?
Ooh. And by the way, folks, if you enjoy this type of program, we're here most weekdays. Follow the program if you're currently watching on Instagram, X, or TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube right now, give your boy a sub. This is Uncensored
Dano
Programming.
Speaks been talking the whole entire time in the comments. Now I'm getting my opinion. And now he up here telling me something. I need to run for president because I got all the answers.
Well, he's being sarcastic.
Dano Speaks, get a life and live it and leave mine alone.
So Trump wants to close off the country to Afghanis after what happened in D.C. What say you? Good idea? Make America safe?
It's something fishy to me about that DC.
Wait, say that
It don't
again?
sit right with me, Tim. Yeah, I promise you it don't sit right with me. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Why would somebody come way from over there
Two theories.
to take out two? Take off two National Guard.
I got two theories. One being, well,
Give me a theory.
first of all, the theory is there's definitely a beef with the United States, the country that let him in. But the two theories I'm giving you, one, I believe, because they said he worked with the CIA, I believe this man who killed the female and critically injured the other person, I believe what has happened is he worked on behalf of the United States in his country under Biden. Trump comes along and possibly is going to deport him back to the Taliban, where they're probably going to kill the guy. So it's like, well, screw it. I don't put my life on the line because a lot of them.
Hold on. Say it again now. He came in with.
A lot of them worked on behalf of America in their country.
Hold on. He came in under who?
Biden.
Who gave him asylum?
He came in 2021. Biden was president.
And he got asylum in April of 2025.
Okay, but he came in under Biden.
But he got approved to stay here under Trump.
Okay, all right. So what's your point?
What's your point for saying he came in under Biden?
That's when he came in.
And he got approved to stay under Trump.
Okay.
That's when he got approved.
All right, fair enough. But I believe that.
Okay, thank you.
I believe that President Trump either gave him or his family members or somebody he knows a deportation notice, and that was enough to sit him over the edge. Because you're going to send me back somewhere I'm going to get killed. Or
now you just making up shit.
yes, we're speculating. That's exactly what I told you I'm doing.
I'm ready.
Or potential number two is what one of my viewers stated is that Trump canceled the financial assistance that goes to immigrants, and that was going to lead this man and his family potentially bankrupt and homeless, and that may have driven him over the edge.
Tim.
Yes.
Tim, stop your shit.
How is that shit? Those are realistic scenarios.
That man was a part of the damn CIA. What benefits could Trump have stopped that man from getting?
All immigrants, when they come here, sometimes get a stipend to get on their feet. All of them do.
Boy, stop.
What are you talking about?
Go and read what that man was and his credentials, and you tell me that he was sitting up depending on Donald Trump for some damn money.
That's very likely, Takesha. I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Fuck up.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
That's a dumb ass reason, that last excuse you gave. Now I might could have get with that first one, which was dumb as hell too. But this last one was dumb as hell. Don't repeat that shit no more.
So what the fuck you think happened? Since my shit is idiotic, what the fuck you think went on?
I think Trump needed a distraction.
As one lady once said, you don't, what are you talking about?
I think he needed a distraction. Tim, I don't trust Donald Trump no further than I can see him. And let me say this, Tim. The way y'all sit up and laugh at the way he talked to these women reporters, and when he called that lady stupid the other day, that was a disgrace. The way he treated that lady, because she asked him a question about him granting that man asylum. My thing is this. I really wish I could be a reporter in the room just one time.
You gonna argue with the commander-in-chief?
When he had said, "Are you stupid?" I would have said, "No, I'm not," but you evidently are.
Your ass would have been in jail. Talking.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. The reason he talked to them like that is because they never say anything. But what I do not do is allow any man to disrespect me, Tim. Baby, bye. I would have said no, I'm not, but apparently you're stupid. And this is my last question for you, because my man don't talk to me like that.
You're talking.
If somebody just get back with him one time, he'll change his time. It's stupid for any man to sit up and call a woman stupid because she got a question. Or call a woman piggy because she got a question. He is the most disrespectful.
You just called me. You called me 10 times as much as that shit in the conversation we just had.
Here we friends and we be joking. Stop playing.
Maybe they were
Stop
friends.
Playing.
You know something?
If you for real deal call me out of my name, you would never hear from me again.
I can respect that. All right, Takesha, you ladies are hard today. I tell you that. I got to get a nice, peaceful white woman on here. I tell you that. After talking to you, sister.
Let me tell you something. That's what you need, baby, because they'll bow down like King Tut for you. But, a black woman ain't going to bow. But, the white women, they was raised. They told them what was in the Bible. They didn't really read it. So they think that submissive means you let a man tell you what to do and you do it and you don't get no back talk. But we know what submissive means. It damn sure don't mean let a man just run you like a train on a track.
Damn. I don't know. That's I got a whole bunch of comebacks, but I got to move it on. Takesha, appreciate you coming through.
Goodbye, young fella.
All right, moving on with the program. I might have went dark there. Tap the screen. Peaceful white woman. Sometimes you got to get some peace on here. What do they always say? Be his peace. I could use a little bit of peace. I don't think she knows what submission means, says the handsome conservative. Did you talk to the MAGA supporters or did Tim exactly shut up? What are you talking about there in the comments? By the way, like I said, we're here most weekdays. Feel free to follow the program if this is your cup of tea. Uncensored dialogue from all sides of the aisle. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone on this program. That's probably been evident based on what you've seen, but understand MAGA are my preferred guests. We are MAGA friendly. You're going to hear more liberals because we are open to free speech. In fact, there's a hell of a lot of MAGA do not like to hear Trump criticized. So that can cause, because we used to be pretty heavily critical of Biden during his economy, during his time, and we had a lot more MAGA viewers. But now that Trump's president, you're not going to keep criticizing Biden. He's not around anymore. So Trump is in the hot seat, and MAGA don't often like that. So we got more liberals on the program now. But if you're MAGA, if you lean right, conservative, or even independent, you're welcome on the program as well. If you ever want to be a caller, come on over to the Handsome Liberal on TikTok. We're also on X and we are on Instagram. Tim Liberals on Facebook as well. We take callers on all of those platforms. And nevertheless, TikTok is where you hear many of the viewers. If you favorite us, follow us on those platforms. If you enjoy watching on YouTube, we're live there as well. Give us a sub on YouTube. Nevertheless, we appreciate the 132,000 likes. Thank you, folks. MAGA, the day I'm not on Earth, says Dale Speak. Appreciate you, folks, tapping the screen, getting your boy likes up. Almost reached the TikTok crown goal. We came pretty close. Thank you for the folks who helped out there. Nevertheless, as always, follow the program. You guys have a good day. We will certainly see you tomorrow. Take care. Stay safe. Thank you for tuning in as well. And I appreciate you.